New Orleans got shrimp. They got gumbo, whatever the fuck. What does Jacksonville got?
We got oysters and pretty women.
Checks it down underneath. That's a crossing route to Christian Kirk. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Christian Kirk to the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A crossing route to Christian Kirk. And the Jags have retaken the lead. Here we go. 4th down, 25 seconds to play. Can you stop them one more time? Jags are blitzing. They're all coming. They throw to the left corner of the end zone. That ball is incomplete. That ball is incomplete. The Jags take over on downs.
3rd down and 11 at the 19. McCord over the middle. Harrison Jr. again. Down the sideline. Maserati Mar. Touchdown. Buckeyes. Speed. Agility. Power. Balance.
Hit it.
Maserati.
Jackson can't find anyone. Looking to take off and run. Bounces away. Still serving. Still alive. Throwing end zone. Caught for the touchdown. Nelson Aguilar. So out of the empty set on 1st down. Stafford is picked up. It's T.J. Watt. And he's down to the 6-yard line. The Pittsburgh defense strikes.
Apparently for Shane Steichen, they're not out of field goal range. Metcalf is blocked. That's a line football. It's picked up Denzel Ward. They attempt a 60-yard field goal. Myles Garrett the block.
How athletic is this guy? Just 285 pounds. And he's just going to leap right over. Doesn't touch anybody. Perfectly legal.
Fake the handoff. Allen on 1st down. Uncorks it. Intercepted. Jabril Peppers. The Bills turn it over. First play from scrimmage.
Blitz off the edge. Cousins throws and it's taken away by Addison for the touchdown. Grounded a second. 2 years removed from losing 100. The Rangers have won the pennant.
Welcome, Daddies, to episode 308 of Dunn and Drew. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Enter the code Dunn and Drew and get a 100% deposit match up to $100. We did a show with Prize Picks live from New Orleans at our Jags tailgate. It was a lot of fun. More on our trip to New Orleans in just a second, along with a review of the food, the drinks, the Superdome, Bourbon Street. But it's officially Steelers Hate Week. Dunn and Drew is a house divided this week as we all travel to Pittsburgh for a Steelers-Jags game. Penn State still can't beat Ohio State.
Nobody can. Keep going.
We got Chiefs, Eagles, Kevin Byard, Niners, Kirk Cousins. Trade deadline is coming up in the NFL. What moves can be made, specifically by the Jags? Basketball is back, kind of. Question for you guys, Jack and Eric. We're a third of the way through the NFL season.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's kind of
Probably, yeah, it probably hurts. But I want to know
playoffs too.
Yeah, kind of all the way to Super Bowl. Oh, it's 22 total, I think. 22 total weeks. We're 7 in. How do you feel about this season so far, league-wide, NFL season? Do you like it? Has it been entertaining? Obviously, it's been entertaining, but has it been what you expected?
Actually, no, it hasn't been what I expected. The AFC is kind of dead, more so than what we thought it would be, but still pretty competitive. I love seeing all the upsets that have happened this year, but we're still getting shitty primetime games, which they can't get that right for some reason.
I was thinking leading up to, when I saw the promo on Sunday night, when I saw the promo for, they were trying to hype up next week, it's Bears,
Chargers.
And I'm like, and they said that should be a good one. I'm like, can the NFL not? I know that these networks, they have to bid on these games, but can't we do something to where we don't know the primetime game every week? Like that can be selected 2 weeks in advance. I don't know why. Certainly that can't be done, and there's a reason why it's not done, or else they would do it. But I feel like that something has to be done. I know they do the flexing, that helps, but they haven't flexed that one out. They would have had to have done it like 2 weeks ago, and I guess it didn't look that bad then. I don't know why. But what about you, Jack?
I agree with Eric. I like the parity, the competitiveness. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are still, what are they, 6-1?
Stop stealing my notes.
Me?
Yeah, I wrote something exactly like that. No, it's good.
My screen is black, so I didn't even see it. And then the NFC, Eagles are still really good. The Niners are at the top. But overall, I think it's more competitive and unknown of who's going to beat who week to week.
More so than ever that I can remember.
Possibly, yeah.
I say this every week, but it feels like there's been a lot more season-ending injuries this season than usual, and just injuries in general. But I also say that every year. But I've seen a lot of players go down.
I can't recall any superstars
besides Rodgers
out for the year.
Rodgers doesn't even feel like that. Feels like last year. It feels like so long ago.
And he's not out for the year. He'll be back.
Right.
Just Chubb.
Chubb
was a really big one.
Right.
What about offenses? Well, this past weekend, back to parity, the Colts almost beat the Browns. They put up 450 on a Browns team that's allowing like 200 yards a game. 49ers lost twice in a row. No one expected the Vikings to win. So the parity is crazy. Chiefs are like the only constant.
Zach Wilson is carrying the Jets to 3-3 so far.
Yeah, on his back. But what about the offense in the NFL? Have you noticed any difference? Has it looked the same as usual? Oh, the reason why I ask is there's a tweet from Jason Whitlock.
Oh God.
Yeah. I have to bring it up because it's a very popular tweet. I'm not a huge fan of him, but he tweeted this and it got a lot of responses. He said, so far this week, he tweeted this last week. So far this week, only 2 NFL teams scored more than 26 points, the Dolphins and the Jags. We're in an era of mediocre, inconsistent quarterback play. The game has been dumbed down because of lack of practice time and players satiated with cash. Players think more about jersey swaps, coordinated celebrations, social media branding, and being victims than actually competing. Now, I don't buy into that sentence, but 2 teams scored 4 touchdowns. Receivers wear gloves that make catching the ball easier than ever.
Okay.
Make it make sense. Less contact, rules designed to promote scoring, worse product. Worse product. But NFL actors I don't know why I said that, are making more money than ever before. We're watching the final 3 seasons of Game of Thrones. Show was bad for 3 years. No one recognized it until it was over. And then a bunch of responses and follow-ups about why NFL offenses aren't doing well, and a lot of red zone area efficiency to blame. I'm just wondering if you guys noticed any of that. I was looking out for it after I saw his tweet. I was looking out for it this week. But like I didn't see – I do see – maybe I'm just seeing it now since I saw his tweet, but I don't know. I haven't noticed. There was a stat that I saw that said NFL red zone efficiency has gone down every year for the past 5 years, and I'm kind of wondering why.
I kind of agree with him at the beginning of that tweet. Specifically when he said inconsistent quarterback play, we're in an era of something along those lines. I do agree with that. Why I agree with it is that I feel like a lot of people just like are really nitpicking like the top quarterbacks. Like a lot of people, maybe you included, think Josh Allen's not good. A lot of people now think Justin Herbert's not good, but like there's 26 other teams that would love to have those guys. Like, and like people the narrative may turn into like, oh, Josh Allen can't win you a Super Bowl. Justin Herbert can't win you a Super Bowl, but what quarterbacks can? Yeah. Like, honestly, like there's the quarterbacks aren't consistent. Like those 2 guys haven't been great and consistent the whole year, but Joe Burrow too this year. I know the injury, but like you can't really, other than Mahomes, like, and you guys may agree, Mahomes hasn't looked invincible the entire year so far. So,
and I think it even started last year because I saw a segment where Mina Kimes and the NFL Live crew were breaking down how defenses are more prepared for offenses in the NFL nowadays. So the offenses are scoring less points. And I saw this last year. So we are seeing more inconsistent QB play this season, but I don't think that's ruining the product at all, because I think watching good defense in the NFL is still a positive in the league.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not seeing I don't know if I'm seeing quarterbacks just play. I mean, Josh Allen's playing kind of sloppy, but I mean, you expect more from Joe Burrow too. Herbert is just a victim of his circumstance, I think. The Mahomes regression outside of this past week is odd, but he's fine when he has Kelsey. And Trevor Lawrence, we expected more yards from him. And people, I think Trevor Lawrence gets a lot of heat from national media because they were propping him up all offseason. They added Calvin Ridley, and they're winning, but they're just not winning the way people want them to win. They want them to win with Trevor Lawrence putting up like MVP numbers. But as Trevor said in his tweet, as long as they're winning, who cares?
Yeah, and like I said a little bit ago, there's been a lot of injuries to the running backs, and those are part of the offense. So if you're not working with your RB1 and you become one-dimensional, then defenses can game plan for that, and that's obviously going to lead to less offensive points.
So we got a lot of NFL to recap and one game in particular to preview for this coming weekend, the one we're all going to. But first, we'll start with Kings of the Weekend.
We are the Kings of the Weekend.
First of all, before I get into the king, me,
how
foolish of me last week when you asked me to name, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, when you asked me to name teams better than the Jags in the AFC. And I was trying to not put the Jags in the top three.
Oh, yeah, you guys were like fishing, finding any way not to put the Jags in top three.
I was, and then like I'm reading Twitter today, and all I see is talk about the Jags on my timeline. Granted, it's For You page, so obviously, but shit, I've never seen this much positivity spewing about the Jags ever. So it just made me reevaluate that. Anyway, let's get into the trip. I'm King of the Weekend because I just got back. I was out of town way longer than everyone else I went with. I just got back today, took a detour to Columbus to watch Penn State, Ohio State. Then I went to Cleveland for another detour.
Are you going to like detail how you got to all these places?
Yeah.
Because that's crazy.
That's where I'm starting before we get into the actual trip. So I returned this morning around like 11 a.m. after leaving, was it Wednesday morning, like at 5 a.m.? So finally back. But I didn't get good sleep any one of those nights, like the 6 or 7 days I was gone. Early flights, like partying, drinking, doing all that, and I didn't sleep good once. And I didn't get sick at all. And that's why I'm king. Because that's not normal for me.
Why I'm peasant.
But
you are my lord.
But Thursday after the Saints game, I had to leave. I wanted to party with everybody after that win. It was an amazing trip. That was probably one of the best away trips I've ever been to, obviously. Seen a lot of L's. But after the Saints game, I had a flight the next day to Columbus. Obviously, I was saying to go to Penn State. But the first flight left at 5:30 in the morning. We didn't arrive till 11:30 p.m. that same day. So some people online were like, what the fuck? What's wrong with your itinerary? But the reason it was booked like that is because John A. and I have a companion certificate with our Delta credit card, which means we get one round-trip flight for free per year for a guest. So I can book a trip and bring one of you guys for free every year with my credit card.
I haven't had that yet.
I know. We'll think of something. But when we were looking for flights, the layover in Minneapolis was the only one that we could get with a certificate. I'm mostly thinking that because all the other ones were sold out. Because Jacksonville, when you take Delta, you go to Atlanta. Like there's no other Delta. Atlanta's a hub for Delta, so you're only going to go to Atlanta from Jacksonville. So if you're going Jacksonville, Atlanta, and then obviously Atlanta to Columbus, if Penn State, Ohio State's a sold-out game, a lot of people are traveling for it, obviously that's not going to be a very open flight to get. So the only one we could take was to Minneapolis, which is 3.5 hours north. It was a 3-hour flight north. It's like northeast. It's like way out of the way going to Columbus.
Northwest.
Yeah, Northwest.
Right.
It borders Canada. That's how far out of the way it is. But we flew back to Jacksonville after New Orleans. Then we got back on a plane in Jacksonville, rechecked our bags for this second round trip flight, which was...
You didn't leave the airport?
No, we didn't leave the airport. It's like 2.5 hour layover. But we were delayed for like an hour, so it worked out. We didn't have to stay in the airport too long. But flew out of Jax, connected in Minnesota, landed in Minnesota, caught the flight from Minnesota to Columbus, and we got there at like 11:30 p.m. And then went to bed at her friend's house, woke up at 7 a.m. the next morning after all that flying to tailgate for Penn State, Ohio State.
7:30.
Then we drove 2.5 hours to Cleveland after the game ended.
What?
Oh, right after?
Like right after the game.
What?
Like,
what was the occasion?
she was all the friends that we were staying with and hanging out with that she went to Ohio State with. They had friends that were having like a birthday party bus thing that same night.
Better be a good fucking
That went
party
to
bus.
in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, yeah.
2 hours.
So we had
Fuck that party bus.
So we had already committed to doing that after the game. So we drove 2. I was knocked in the car on the drive to Cleveland. Like they were saying, I was like snoring loud as fuck in the back. But if you're listening, the guys whose birthday it was a guy and a girl that were dating. It's like their birthdays are two weeks
Ew.
apart. So, so they booked this party bus. I think there's like a party of 15 total, and it goes to this. Are you familiar with like Cleveland or Ohio geography at all? We went to Willoughby, Ohio.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's in the middle of nowhere. There was like nothing open. It was kind of like Daytona dive bars, but nobody was in them. And it just smells like smoke. And he takes his party bus to these bars, and we're all everyone was like confused, like, where are we? We're in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. We've been riding in the party bus for like 40 minutes to this city I've never heard of. We get out, we go to the bar, we leave, and then we go to some other random spot. And then I find out that he didn't really know where he wanted to party. He just wanted to use up time in the party bus with his friends. So he was just taking the driver around to the furthest place he could just to be in the party bus with his friends and drink.
Oh, my God.
So I was like, what a waste of fucking time this was.
Oh, my God.
So we get out, and we get picked up from John A's mom after the second stop. One of the girls on the bus was like super drunk and like
I love that.
Pissing me off because she was just like falling over, one of those annoying drunk white girls. And
that's awesome.
She was like getting in my way, cutting me off, like trying to get to the bar. And if it was a guy, I would have probably like shoved back. But it was a girl, I'm not going to, she'd go flying and I'd be in prison in fucking middle of nowhere, Ohio. So we get picked up by her mom, and Johnny's mom is crazy. So she's like got this friend who was driving us around in a van, has a CDL, but he's driving recklessly. And her mom's like, oh, let's go to a bar and have a drink. This is after the travel day, the drive to Cleveland, this party bus fiasco. And now her mom wants to go to a bar and grab one drink. She says, let's go for one.
Did you?
Yeah, we had no choice. Like we were stuck in this van. Like it was me, John A., like 3 of her friends, and her mom's friend who was driving his van. And she takes us around. She tries to go to this.
What time is this? Like is this still the same day as the Penn State Ohio State game?
No, it's 2 a.m. now.
Right, but it's still like the same day.
Yeah, same day. Yeah, but it's the next day, but same night. It's 2 a.m. now. John A.'s mom like tells him to stop the van and wants me to come out, get out of the van, go to this Cleveland overlooks to look at this Cleveland sign that looks over the skyline that I had already seen when I first met her 3 years ago. And I was like, please get back in the car. I already seen this damn sign. Can we just go to the bar and get you your drink? So we get to the bar, parks in the back alley. We walk in the back of this pizza shop. She like knows all the workers there. So it's just like, hey, everybody. They're all nice and stuff. Just letting us all in through the back door. One of the guys making pizza was like, what the fuck? Because he didn't know. But it was just a lot that day. So I was exhausted. And the next day was Sunday. So that's why I didn't watch a single. I only watched the Browns game because we went to a bar and had like pizza and wings and watched it with one of her friends. And then I got home and I fucking took a shit and went to bed. So that was my experience. after New
My
Orleans.
God.
So once I got to Ohio, that's what I did, and it was very exhausting. That's why I'm like, I'm king of the weekend, because I didn't get sick from doing all of that in 36 hours. It was insane.
That is wild. Yeah, I guess this is a good time, I guess, for me to comment on my perspective of the trip. Let me first apologize for my nasally sound. I hate listening to people on podcasts or anywhere when they have a cold. Unfortunately, that is me. I guaranteed my sickness on the pod. I said it, and it happened. But I will recover in time for Pittsburgh, like I also promised on the podcast. New Orleans was a lot cleaner than I expected and a lot more fun than I expected. The people are very nice. I didn't run into any rude person. They're very Southern hospitality there. Night one, what did we do? Oh, that was the night before party. We had the second line. Shout out to BCB, Bold City Brigade, for organizing this trip of 500 Jags fans.
Whoa.
Who were officially bought like a package to attend all the events that we did. And it started with night one, where started as one bar, like 7, saw everyone that we usually see at the tailgates, saw some people from out of town that we know from like online or various Jaguar games. And then about 30 minutes into this meetup, the marching band comes in, starts playing, marching like jazz band or whatever, whatever kind of band does parades. They start playing music, and then they lead all of us down Bourbon Street to the next bar, which is more of a, not as chill. It's more of a kind of clubby, more clubby atmosphere, bar atmosphere.
3 stories too.
3?
I
think you're right.
Yeah,
no, 2.
2. It felt like 3, but it was 2 stories. Yeah. Sick bars though, because they have like balconies, and you just look down at Bourbon Street and just wave to everybody
and throw your beads.
I got to see it firsthand.
I thought it was crazy how everything in New Orleans, any store, sells the hurricane slushies. There's going to be some kind of alcoholic slushie. I went to the mall, the strip mall. They had it inside. I was like, you can just get a drink, alcoholic drink, just walk down the mall. Okay. And you get, obviously, every shop in Bourbon Street, you can just take your alcohol out, walk around. Popular drinks were the Hurricane, the Grenade, hand grenade. Something.
Yeah, hand grenade.
Did not like the hand grenade. The Hurricane was pretty good. Never had a what do you call it? I had it on the rocks, not
Rum Runner,
not a slushy, right? What's a
on the rocks?
I had it on the rocks. I didn't have a
Slushy.
It's grinded up with the ice.
Frozen.
Damn.
Frozen and on the rocks.
Yes, thank you.
There we go.
Let's see.
Because we're not alcoholics.
Yes, thank God. No, I'm just not a frozen guy.
And we walked Bourbon Street before the parade. So when we were actually doing the parade, it felt way longer than when we were walking earlier. But I guess it's because we were like kind of walking with everybody else. And earlier we were like walking much faster.
I did so much walking this past weekend, last week.
But if you want to see like the beginning of the parade and a little bit during it, I did live stream on YouTube. So that's in our YouTube live streams on our channel.
That night ended before midnight. I was in bed before midnight, night one. And it ended with us taking a stop at a little restaurant that was open pretty late. And I don't remember the name, but they serve po' boys.
It's called Nola Po' Boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nola Po' Boys. And that is where I discovered Creole seasoning. Tony's famous Creole seasoning. First time I ever had it. And I just drowned my po' boy in this seasoning. It is the best stuff I've ever had. And I've been putting it on almost everything that I've had since I left, even breakfast. Cookies. My peanut butter biscuit in the morning.
It is a po' boy that's like fried shrimp on
just a sub.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting something more.
I didn't like it.
Oh, really?
It was super dry. But I liked everything else.
I thought there's not sauce on it.
I thought there was.
I feel like I've had one before. There is sauce.
There is. It probably didn't have enough.
Yeah, mine definitely didn't have enough.
Okay.
Like I dumped hot sauce all over it.
Like it's just. Is there anything else other than shrimp?
It's lettuce.
Yeah, like
Lettuce, tomato.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think mayonnaise. So how did I get this from World's, what's it called?
Nola Po' Boys.
Nola Po' Boys. Well, our friend, I won't say his real name, we'll say his alias, Flamingo. He said, "Oh, you want that?" Now, granted, very intoxicated, so I'm not throwing him under the bus here. It wasn't him. It was Flamingo. It wasn't who he really is. He took it and he wrapped it up with his po' boy and he gave it to me.
It was covered in like
it was disgusting.
Beans and rice.
It was disgusting. I had to clean it off. I almost threw it all away before I left on the last day. I was like, no, this was too good of seasoning. So I cleaned off this giant shaker of seasoning and put it in my suitcase. And when I'm going through TSA, leaving the airport at 4 a.m., leaving New Orleans, it gets flagged by the conveyor belt. And the guy says, "Hey, I got to look at it." I'm like, that could either be because I left my tablet in my backpack or that seasoning. No way it could be the seasoning, right? And it was the seasoning. He takes it out and he's looking at it. I was like, please don't somehow know that I stole that from a restaurant. What if he's
you
like,
get this from Nola Po' Boys?
where did you get this, sir? But no, he's like, hey, I got to test this. I got to test these a couple grains of seasoning.
No, they do that. I took my pre-workout through TSA once, and they opened it up and tested it.
So they're either checking
for coke.
Okay, for it's cocaine, or if it's, I thought it was maybe bomb powder, but coke.
That too.
Okay.
Bomb could be a powder.
I don't know.
Yeah,
gunpowder, bomb powder. I don't know.
Something explosive.
And when he was doing that, I was deathly sick, so I was not in the best mood. I actually told him, "Hey, you can just toss that if it's too big of a trouble."
That was a great night too. We were just sitting there being loud.
Oh, it was great. So many laughs.
Just being loud, making jokes. I did something, and like the cashier got mad at me for it. I forgot what I did.
I don't remember.
I like made a sound or something, but I forgot what kind of sound it was.
Oh fuck!
No, it wasn't that. I think I was just laughing.
Oh yikes! Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't like it though. I wish I could remember what it was, but yeah, that was a fun night. And then they all dipped after that, and I stayed out with Flamingo and Marshall, who ended up being one of our tag-alongs. Wow,
Get out of here!
Weird word to jinx. But yeah, wasn't really eventful after that because I was extremely tired that night, so I didn't keep drinking at all, knowing that we had a tailgate ahead of us the next day. So I just like tried to find a club where I could just post up and like listen to music and dance. And I found one, and we just did that till 2 a.m. and we walked back to the hotel, and he drove home. But one scam, I got charged for water in the bar, a water cup, $2.50.
What?
I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I heard they were doing that for water bottles in other bars, but I specifically asked for a water cup, and she gave me one, and she said that'll be $2.50. I'm like, wow, that was crazy.
That's
like,
weird.
I've never been charged for water in a bar, but bourbon different, bourbon
Wow.
crazy.
Water should be like
Should be free.
Free.
Yeah,
It's usually free at the bar. It's like, can I get a water?
What if someone's like drunk and dying, and like maybe water could help them of some sort?
As a
gotta pay $2.50.
First time I've ever been charged for a water cup in a bar, and I was too thirsty to say no and walk to any other 50 bars on the street.
I've been charged for water sometimes. I have before. I think like at a restaurant when I'm really thirsty, and honestly, it's worth the $1 I pay, but it should be free.
Oh yeah, it was worth the $2.50. I was parched.
Yeah,
I hadn't had any water all day. But I will say, once you're off Bourbon Street and you're walking around just like the surrounding areas, it's desolate as hell. Like anyone could have stabbed me and no one would have heard me scream. Weren't any cars driving by, just us walking on the streets, going back to the hotel. I was like, damn, this must be why they say don't walk anywhere late at night, because we got ran up on.
Was the hotel on right?
It was a 20-minute walk.
Okay.
But it wasn't like
you had to go through the stab zone.
Yeah, it wasn't like weird streets. Like there were sidewalks the whole way there, but there was just nobody within a mile of us. It was creepy.
So that was Wednesday night. Thursday, we start off. I can't remember how we started. Oh, I think we started off at like a little market. like a little market, and then we got some drinks there.
Or you got beignets first.
Oh yeah, I did get beignets. Very good.
Before
very
I was
good.
like ready.
Very good. Yeah, Cafe Du Monde. It's pretty popular. So that was breakfast, and then we had like real breakfast. What day is that?
Thursday.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Then we got real food somewhere. Anyway, let's fast forward to the tailgate.
Oh yeah, you went to eat somewhere, and then we all met up at a market.
Yeah, tailgate, insane tailgate. Tons of Jags fans. That was so cool to see. Played spin the Casa, of course. We crowdfunded 3 bottles, or 2 or 3. I think it was 3 total.
Yeah, it was 3.
That was fun. Ended up playing beer ball, of course. Someone either ran to a Walgreens. I can't remember, but ping pong balls ended up in my hand.
I think you had them already.
Superdome, rating the Superdome. I give it, well, let me talk about things I like and don't like. Things I don't like, getting in there. That was like a maze.
Yeah, that was.
We had to get through like a parking garage. That was confusing. Getting out took forever because the hallway was so skinny.
Yeah.
That's a negative. The pizza I had was good. The line to get food was good because it was like help yourself and then check out yourself. That was great, nice and efficient. I can't really speak to any other food. I just had pizza because it was the best thing to soak up all the alcohol that I drank. And don't like, so steep. We were in the nosebleeds pretty much. We're sitting in heaven, and you have to climb. Like it's leg day walking up there. The steps are so steep, and when you get up there, the seats are packed in really tight together, no cup holders, and you stand up. You can pretty much, if you had a ball in your hand, this is a little exaggeration, but you could reach out in front of you, drop it, and it'd probably land on the field. That's how like it's almost at a 90-degree angle. It is crazy. Imagine a fight up there.
Yikes!
You get pushed. You can't fight. If you get pushed over, you're falling probably onto the field.
Probably why they made it that steep then.
Yeah.
Prevents fighting.
Luckily, there was no one around us that could have even
fought you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Hey, nice people. Nice people in New Orleans. Nice people in the Superdome. Didn't come across anyone that was
overly aggressive.
Yeah.
And usually when you're up that high, you usually run into those types of people.
Yeah. What else I like? Oh, the stadium is beautiful. I was expecting a dump. But the whole dome structure is beautiful. The Jumbotron is lovely.
Okay, I heard the opposite because I've heard Saint Superdome's nice, but I didn't have great expectations from the outside because it looked like Tropicana. Great expectations.
Who wrote that?
You're not gonna get me. But yeah, from the outside, it looked like the Tropicana field where the Rays play. But I had
it doesn't look great from outside.
Cool Saints lighting though on the outside, but it didn't disappoint inside, except for the concourse kind of looked incomplete. I think they're still remodeling it, but it felt empty inside until you get into the field. But the inside looked like the Vegas Sphere. All the videos you see of the Vegas Sphere, that's what it looked like. I posted a video from when I first walked in. Perfect timing too, because the fucking wrestling bell, I don't know what wrestler that is, where it's like the doom.
Oh, the Undertaker. That's how they came out?
Yeah.
I was lost. I didn't see that.
You were. I thought you just went to sit somewhere else, and then you ended up.
I don't remember how I got lost or when I lost you guys.
But it was super loud in there. Probably the loudest place.
Yeah. Loudest place I've ever been, which is great. Well, I've been to a concert, which was louder, but fan-made noise.
Yeah.
I was plugging my ears at one point. There was one drive that I plugged my ears. It was so loud. And I'm like, there's no way Seattle and Kansas City can be louder than this. Because it's in a dome.
The dome gotta help, yeah.
I was like, why doesn't anyone talk about
bouncing off the walls and like smacking me in the? I was like, Jesus Christ, this place is loud.
Why doesn't anyone talk about this place being the loudest place in the NFL?
Were they the ones that pumped in that years ago? They got fined for pumping in sound, or is that the Falcons?
Falcons.
Yeah.
Oh, when I was at the Falcons Steelers preseason game in August, they do this like Falcons screech. And it must echo in the dome. Like it hurt my ears so like it was so
like
awful.
the Falcons bird noise.
Yes, like even Falcons fans, no one can like.
No one
that.
likes it.
I can't imagine anyone liking that.
Well,
It's
I can't
so
imagine
horrible.
anyone liking the Bucks cannon because that scares the shit out of you. And they do it 6 times for touchdowns.
Yeah, and to make it worse, we had this absolutely high-pitched, screeching
my
girl
God.
behind us. Like every third down, she would be like, I can't even imitate
In
it.
any positive play. Yeah, don't imitate it.
But it was like when Harry Potter opened the dragon egg.
Or it was like a howler. What's the male get called when you get the screeching? I don't know.
Howler. We'll just call it a howler. Yeah, it was bad.
I give Superdome 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous of their setup there.
Top 5 stadium inside.
Wow.
Inside. But getting in, like he said, awful. Like we took like 20 minutes to figure out how to get in there.
See ya.
You.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. All right, good job, everyone.
We're not making a trade.
I was so pulling the Bengals-Niners matchup next week.
That was good. Is that prime time?
It's 4:25.
Okay, good. So
We might see it.
Tequila Cowboy?
We'll see.
no, well, I was saying good. So they still made. I mean, they could give Niners prime time.
It wouldn't be back-to-back weeks.
Oh yeah, bye week. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Superdome. All right. Loud, 8 out of 10.
Are you going to do this robbery thing?
Yep. Another positive, and why I'm looking back on this trip so fondly, despite the cold that I got, was that I won my first ever parlay.
Oh, I forgot
Actually,
about that.
my first ever bet, bet on a sports book.
That wasn't
What was
real.
that? How was that?
It sounded like it really was.
I was scooting. Chill.
Scooting, something you're tooting.
Try to reiterate.
One. Oh, I have to log in. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to read this part. Never done one of these.
I think that's the real reason he blacked out. It's because he won 300.
Yeah.
No, it was. Well, I didn't black out at ever. But that night, the reason why I had like 10 ramen punches after the game, even after we tailgated, was because I won this parlay. I was like, money doesn't exist. It's all on this my winnings here. I transferred it immediately to my bank so I could spend it. Because if I spent, it feels different spending my money and then replenishing myself. I'd rather replenish myself first because it feels better. I don't know why. Don't ask. Here's what I put, and this was at breakfast. Oh yeah, this is where we went for breakfast at Shrimp and Grits, and I placed this entry. Fuck that! I placed this bet. Christian Kirk, anytime touchdown scorer. And I knew that the Saints played a lot of man, so I was like, let me see if Christian Kirk can score. The way he scored was not expecting that.
Yeah, that was great.
Jags first to score. Okay, they did. Race to 10 points, Jags. I mean, these all seem so easy. Over
In hindsight.
Christian Kirk, over 51.5 receiving yards. Same reason why I picked Christian Kirk in the to score category. Derek Carr, under 1.5 passing touchdowns. Well, I'll get to that one in a second.
Came to the very end, right?
Right. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Travis Etienne, anytime touchdown score. He's been scoring twice, like 3 weeks in a row, so that was a given. So the Derek Carr thing. If I had known, so basically everything had hit when the Saints were on their last drive. I was winning. I just needed Derek Carr to not throw another touchdown.
Right.
If I had been aware of that, it would have added such another element to the last play of the game, the last 2 plays or 3 plays. First of all, the throw to the tight end that was a touchdown that he somehow dropped.
Yeah.
And then the last play of the game that he just threw a fade in the end zone. It was incomplete. Great play by our defender.
So you weren't even thinking about the bet.
No.
You were just too caught up in the game. And
I thought the bet was done. Like I thought, there's no way I could have gotten all that. That's why I was saying I didn't even open the app. I had no idea where I was.
He didn't bring it up during the game. I didn't even know he placed it.
I was so locked in.
Outside of our text.
And then we get to Bourbon Street after we win, and I'm sitting, we're sitting down, I'm having a drink, just propped up, and just looking through here. I'm like, oh yeah, I placed a bet. I know I didn't win, but let me just see how close I came. And I look and I don't see anything. I don't see my ticket. And I look in the top right and I see $350. I'm like, what? No way. So I go back and I look. Yes,
That's such a good feeling.
That hit. Well, what?
The rush you must have gotten.
I think it's because I didn't pay attention to it. Maybe I need to just start placing these things and put them out of my mind.
Yeah.
I only placed $10.
Yeah, it was $10 for $350.
What if I did 20. I was so close to doing 20. It had 20 written in there at breakfast. I changed it to 10. It was like, it's a little risky, but I'm not gonna be greedy. I can't wait to place another one when we get to Pittsburgh.
I think you should retire.
I probably should, because
You
I'll
should
place
retire up 34 units and you're good.
units. Don't say units. Although I can't wait to become a gambling addict.
Yeah, so after Andy saw that he had won that, it was like 10 minutes later I left, and that's when their party began.
Yeah.
So,
we started partying because I won money and I was ready to turn up. Jags won. I won. I was on a high. And we went to a few bars before we ended up at this great joint. Why did I say that?
You black.
Where there was like not many people in here, maybe like 15. But the reason why we're there is great music. And we ordered shots, probably like 3 rounds of different various shots. I keep getting rum punches because I'm thoroughly enjoying them. Even though they're probably loaded in sugar, I didn't care. It tasted really good. And had quite a bit to drink. My friends also, Mitch and Flamingo, were also drinking very heavily.
Other Mitch.
Other Mitch. And we get to closing time, so we leave the venue. I'm trying to remember what happens. I don't know where Flamingo goes, but me and Mitch go next door to get pizza. Flamingo's not there. I know he wanted to keep partying. He was like going to go find another bar or something. He wasn't ready to go home. We leave. I think we see Flamingo. He has to piss. He pissed on the wall of Bourbon Street bar, but no one saw him.
Good.
I think that's just what happens on Bourbon Street.
Because someone told me when we got there that was like, you get arrested for that.
Jeez, really?
If he was like there, was he like in the open on Bourbon, or did he go to like one of the corners?
It was on Bourbon Street.
Great. Glad he got away from that.
Wow.
What he didn't get away from was what happened next. Me and Mitch order an Uber. Flamingo wasn't staying with us, so he was going to get his own Uber. So me and Mitch leave. I think also I was like, Flamingo might be just going to the next bar. He looks like he's still ready to party. In hindsight, I should have stayed with him to order an Uber. But his adrenaline was pumping. It looked like he was still ready for a good time. So we leave, and then we hear the story, or the next day comes. I don't hear from him in our group chats. It's 1:00 p.m. I messaged the group. I said, I'm kind of worried about Flamingo. My text isn't delivering to his phone, and we haven't heard from him since we left him last night. And we end up hearing from him like that evening. He's texting us through his Apple Watch saying that his phone is gone. He doesn't know where it is, and his credit cards have been taken from his wallet.
Whoa.
He passed out on Bourbon Street, like just passed out, slept. Woke up to like homeless people like checking on him.
Yeah.
And reaches for his phone, not there. Wallet, no credit cards, and is just
his necklace was taken off.
Oh my God, that's right. His necklace was taken.
Yeah. Took his chain.
He eventually flags down an officer who takes him home. And he shared with us the charges that he found on his card.
Yeah. It was a shit ton of them.
They were $90 at Champs, $22 at probably another store in the mall, $207 at Old Navy, great taste, $165 at another place in the mall.
They got dripped.
Yeah.
$207 at Old Navy. They got $8 shirts.
So Flamingo had quite a night on Bourbon Street.
Yeah,
that is a story that you can always tell. And we just told it for him. I told him I'd use his alias. Only a handful of people know who Flamingo is, but they probably already know the story. So, yeah, wow.
And he's only been there a week.
Yeah, he just moved there last week. Crazy.
Oh.
What?
What?
Are you
just reacting?
I didn't know the story, but I replied to his Snap story yesterday of him recording, like he's watching the game while cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you got 2 phones. Because he's watching the game on one, recording on another. But by the story, he has 0 phones. So
that was weird.
He acquired 2 phones in the past couple days.
I'm not sure how he has 2 phones.
Anyway.
How's the Phillies game going?
1-0 Diamondbacks.
Congrats.
Thank you. Well, not yet. I've already accepted my fate. Phillies are going to win.
Jack is so anti-Phillies. I think a Phillies win here would feel worse than a Penguin. What's the baseball team?
I'm not telling you.
The Pittsburgh Pirates loss.
There you go.
A Phillies win would feel worse than a Pirates loss in the playoffs here.
No.
Okay, good. But you are wearing a Diamondbacks hat.
Yes.
In support of
Correct.
Arizona.
I said no because I'm so desperate for a Pirates playoff series. Like, I mean, the Phillies, they didn't win the World Series yet, but like it, you know.
You really think they're going to win?
I don't want to think about it. If they lose, though, that'd be awesome. They talk about how good of a home field advantage this is, Bank Park is. You lose Game 6 and Game 7 at your best home field advantage in baseball. That's a tough look. But they're going to win, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But you would love that.
That would be, hypothetically, that'd be sick.
But it's not going to happen.
It won't happen.
Did I do my king?
I don't know.
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
God, we're still on King of the Week.
We are the king.
Run it back.
Yeah, this Michigan scandal just got an alert from it. Staffer accused of stealing signs. The staffer that's accused of stealing signs bought tickets for games involving contenders outside of the Big Ten, too. Okay, don't care. My king of the weekend are the Chiefs. I hope I haven't had them yet this year.
No, just Kelsey.
And we kind of said this already. Hey, don't stop stealing my lines. In a year where you cannot predict anything in the NFL, the Chiefs are the remaining constant. They're the only games that are predictable every week. You know they're going to win. And if Taylor's there, you know Travis will have a great game. I was supposed to ad-lib and say mother and father. Fuck. We're back to the Arrowhead Invitational. We're running back another dynasty right after one of them dies, the Patriots, and there's nothing they may be back, Mac Jones, and there's nothing anyone can do about it this year at least. Maybe if the Jags beat the Chiefs week 2, but not anymore. Maybe if they sign Chase Young or trade for Chase Young. Andy Reid and Mahomes currently have a higher win percentage together than Brady and Belichick, and the defense is the best that Mahomes has ever had.
Damn.
The Chiefs are the first team since 1999 to be top 5 in all of these categories by week 7. Offense, defense, and special teams. So it feels like yet another Chiefs Super Bowl appearance is inevitable.
So do we give up?
If we don't make a move at the trade deadline, we're going to talk to one of the local Jaguars reporters here soon on this episode to talk about what moves could be made by the Jags to compete with the Chiefs. But if we don't make a move, I don't think it's happening. I don't think we give up because the season will be fun regardless. But the Chiefs,
true.
it's the Chiefs conference.
Yeah. Seeing Derek Carr in the pocket that long, I was like, we can't do this against teams like the Chiefs and the Ravens. So
yeah, they've got to know, right? They've got to watch and know that that's the case.
like every game I've watched, I'm watching the quarterbacks we play. Just sit back there, just do. And if our secondary is good that game, then great, we get a pick or coverage sack. But
I don't know how we're leading the league in takeaways with with one pass rusher.
right,
It's crazy.
But it's not going to happen against these elite teams. So they need to make a move, very badly.
Very bad, Jack. Who's your king?
Jordan Addison,
Oh,
my former classmate.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
Online?
No.
You saw him in person?
No.
Oh,
He probably took online classes when we were at the same school at the same time.
nice.
That had like 18,000 kids there. So, but he had
How long was he at Pitt?
2 years.
Whoa. And he played,
played.
how many years? All of them?
Yep, all 2. He was a freshman in 2020, I think, and then 2021 he had his monster season, won the Biletnikoff, and then transferred to USC the following season.
How'd you feel when he transferred?
I mean,
Landon?
sad. I wanted him there, but I understood. He got
I'm gonna go to Lincoln.
millions in net. Well, promised millions at NIL at USC. I don't know if he actually got it, but
He's got it now.
so much more money at USC than at Pitt. Great game last night.
Yeah.
7 catches, 126 and 2 touchdowns. I think that's correct. And his long touchdown for like 60 yards, he just ripped it out of the DB's hands. I think it was Ward.
Yeah, it was Ward.
One of the coolest touchdowns.
Yeah.
After
ever.
Ward ripped it from him earlier in the game.
Yeah, it was a great performance.
He could have had a lot more yards too. Kirk missed him a couple of times down the.
Sure.
Like he kept getting open down the
And he was hurt
sideline.
for part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the locker room.
Yeah, I thought he was done when he walked off.
Yeah.
I almost
So it's
gave Andy a text, but
I'm a big fan of this one because he's on my fantasy team.
Why?
I was a big fan of. Well, sorry, can't say that. Justin Jefferson going down.
Jesus.
Elevated Addison,
That's
and he's
correct.
been scoring more points.
But how did he get on your fantasy team?
I drafted him
Why?
because it was my turn to pick.
What'd you like about him pre-draft?
I liked that he was going to be pretty much Kirk Cousins' only option.
Justin
And
Jefferson?
Jefferson, I was saying, hold on. Only option outside of Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is pulling a lot of the coverage, so you'd figure that Addison's going to be open a lot.
What's your favorite part about his game as a prospect?
How he rips balls from defenders.
He didn't do that as a prospect.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
Thought that was his thing coming out.
No.
He went to Pitt.
Then where?
And then USC.
Okay, good. You were listening.
And yeah, he's a speedy guy.
He's pretty fast.
Yeah, speedy guy. Great hands. That's what I liked. Route running is
No,
good.
He's the best route runner in the draft. That's his main
Route
trait.
running is up there.
Okay.
So
anyway, we can move on.
Okay, yeah, we'll move on.
You didn't want to move on.
A new segment called Plant or Not. Chargers fan. We haven't really discussed this since it happened. That Chargers fan that made an appearance that the cameras kept catching. I don't know what's come of it. I know she's had interviews. I know they've talked about her. I know she was on McAfee, I think.
She was, and they flew her out to the
oh my God.
She was at the game.
Yeah, she was at the Chiefs game.
Holy moly.
With a Buffalo
Was
Wild
she with
Wings
Taylor?
hat.
Yeah, with a B-Dubs hat.
So B-Dubs flew her out then, obviously. Nothing gets past me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But how much money do you think they paid her?
Oh, man.
I have no idea.
Probably nothing. Like,
She's-
hey, you want to fly to...
Hey, maybe. Maybe they took advantage of her. I don't know.
Jeez.
Not like that.
She's now an influencer, so
You think...
Good
never
for her.
mind.
when they showed her in the Chiefs game and then gave her the little name tag, I was like, that's not a real name.
Well, that's Asian probably.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, it's not real.
Okay.
When I saw the Buffalo Wild Wings hat, I'm like, that's too.
They just show her. They show her a lot, and this doesn't.
This doesn't happen.
All right. I don't want this to seem racist. She was on an interview, and she just sounded very. It's not racist because it's
sexist?
not. I said it because I'm insecure about my racism.
She seemed casual.
She seemed very camera friendly and very well spoken for like she was like she does interviews all the time.
So that's why you think she's a plant?
Yeah, because like she's ready for the interview. They wanted someone who, and I don't know why they would. What's the NFL's gain of planning a fan? I don't know. What do they gain by? Do they want more Asian Chargers fans? Filipino Chargers fans?
I think when mass people are talking about something, that's always a benefit.
They could do anything. They could do that with anything, couldn't they? Why?
Yeah, but this is like different.
Yeah,
It's
so
it's memeable. People like
definitely memeable,
and they know that it's going to hit. Wonder how many times they've tried something.
Went on McAfee, right? You went on Pat McAfee show
the next day.
Yeah.
No, maybe like
the next day.
Maybe she wasn't. She wasn't a plant. She probably wasn't a plant. But
how did he get a hold of her?
Yeah. Well, McAfee. I don't know. He can do anything. But how did they find her in the crowd?
She's probably going crazy. Well, it was probably easy to find her because, oh no, it's probably easy to find her in the crowd because she was a Chargers fan at a Chargers home game. Those are hard to find.
Not many of them, right?
So
who are they playing that game?
That's the Cowboys game.
Okay, yeah,
especially that game.
It was probably easy to find her. Also, production for those games, they got several cameramen that are just like focusing on the crowd. So
Just trying to find, yeah.
the cameraman on her could have been like, hey, producer man, got this Chargers fan. We should put her up on the screen. He was like, camera 2. And he's like, put her on.
Or it went, all right, locate the plant. Square up. All right, so glad that's settled. We don't really have a consensus there. Next one, Jags furry fan from London.
We'll see if the Chargers fan keeps popping up.
Yeah, it'll die. I think it'll die. But Captain Duval, the Jaguars' possible plant, the furry-looking fella.
Ah, yes.
What do you think about him? He was again at the Thursday night game after being at the London game, maybe both London games.
So he was first spotted at the first London game against Falcons?
I don't know if it was the first or second. I assume the first, because why would he be at the Bills home game?
And then he just shows up to New Orleans. And
because of prime time. Did you find out why?
Amazon flew him out. Which
Amazon plant? That's literally an Amazon plant.
Yes, that.
But it was his first appearance in an NFL plant. Don't know. It's just such a professional costume.
It is. I don't know the history of this man. It was starting. It was starting to surface on Twitter today, but I didn't dive into it because I didn't really give a shit. But when I first saw him in London, I just assumed it was one of those, wild London fans that really likes to go to the games and over there and decided to dress up for it. And the Jags spotted him and said, "Hey, let's put him on TV." But when I saw him in New Orleans, I'm like, "All right, this is not the face of our team." But everyone thought the Jags were doing it, but it came out that Amazon definitely did it. Mm-hmm. He's a plant.
I can't remember why it came out that Amazon did it. Was he wearing like a patch? I think he may have been wearing a patch. I wish I saw him around town. That would have been funny if he like always dresses up. Oh, I didn't say this. I saw. Okay. I walked past Ryan Fitzpatrick and Andrew Whitworth just walking on Thursday morning. Thursday or Wednesday, I can't remember when it was. But we didn't notice until we were like half a block past. Mitch was like, wait, that was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Because he had the beard, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then I look, and I'm like, I see the outline of the person next to him. I'm like, oh, that definitely has to be Andrew Whitworth.
The outline.
That's what he looks like.
This is the fan, right?
Yeah, that's
Show the camera.
I laughed because I Googled Jags furry fan, and it was just like, it was weird.
Next plant. So Amazon plant confirmed. Next one, Tyson Bagent. He makes his first NFL start. I don't know where he played. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, where did he play? Shepherd.
Never heard of that.
D2 school.
How did he? There's so many backups in the league. Like, where's Nate Peterman?
Bears. Or did they cut him? Or they may have signed him back. I don't know. He was.
Where's he? Where's Andy Dalton? Where are all these backups that come in on these spots? They never pull up a guy like this guy,
bro,
to play in a game.
The Shepherd Rams, Shepherdstown, West Virginia.
He looks like he's from West Virginia.
But he won because the Raiders suck.
Yeah, his last start, he lost to the Colorado School of Mines.
We've had no, it wasn't him. We've had a player from there on the Jags.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's when we had a general manager, Gene Smith, loved going after small schools because his thought was, well,
they're hungry.
Yes. If he gets the best player from the small school, when they get introduced to a professional weight room, maybe they actually deserve to be in like the SEC. Maybe that we can find a little diamond in the rough.
His theory looks good because this man beat the Raiders.
Crazy.
Scored 30 on them.
I don't know how well he played. I don't think he even surpassed 200 yards. But anyway, he went into a pro NFL game
against Max Crosby.
Yeah,
and survived.
All right, who put Taylor Swift on here?
I didn't.
I may have.
Is Taylor Swift a plant?
Yes, she needs the NFL. She'd be nothing without the NFL.
True. Speaking of plants, this episode is brought to you by Alabama Hemp Products. Go to alabamahempproducts.com for your Delta 8 gummies, CBD. I think that's all we're selling.
I'm on it now.
Thank you. Muscle salves, hand soap, headache roller. I needed that in New Orleans. But mainly Delta 8 gummies. This is the #1 seller. Instead of me telling you how great the products are, let me read one of the Google reviews. He said, I fight severe insomnia almost on a nightly basis. A coworker introduced me to Alabama hemp products that may or may not be me. And their Delta 8 line has over-the-counter medications and nothing has seemed to work well for And their Delta 8 line has been a game changer. I have experimented with many different prescription and over-the-counter medications and nothing has seemed to work well for me. These Delta 8 gummies put me in the perfect relaxed state, but do not make me disoriented. I'm getting the best sleep of my life, and I have more patience than ever before. Simply put, they make me a happier human. I would 100% recommend this product line over anything else.
They are great for the airplane as well. Night flights.
So check out alabamahempproducts.com. All right, moving on. Him throw of the week. Eric.
I was going to say, I don't have an entry this week due to me sleeping most of the day. However, since this is the topic of quarterbacks, I will say that I believe up to this point in the NFL season, I don't see any quarterbacks as front runners for the MVP, which I understand it's a quarterback award, but I feel like mostly defensive players are the face of the NFL right now. So I think we should just do an offensive player of the year, a defensive player of the year, and call it a day. But it is what it is.
Who would I pick?
If anybody's surging right now, it's Lamar Jackson. But everyone else, like we said earlier, is just kind of like inconsistent and average at the moment.
Yeah, after we did the Brock Purdy MVP,
you lost 2 straight.
Yeah. I mean, I just give it to Mahomes. Like, they're nothing without him. What do we have here?
My submission.
Wow, what is this?
It's Kenny.
Oh, wow. Shocked. Actually, kind of shocked. You haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm shocked because I didn't know he had good passes.
He did.
Ever.
That's mean.
Well, it's hate pick week.
I rewatch every Kenny performance.
No.
On
what?
On the All 22 view, and I've actually ranked them best to worst, all 18 of his starts so far through his career, like cumulative of last year. I thought this is a top 5 performance of what he's had so far, and
wow. Not hard to top.
He
get used to it.
Made a lot of good throws, and I really think that he only had like 3-ish bad plays, like not great plays, but like, again, inconsistent quarterback play. Like, you can't ask for every play to be flawless. So I liked what I saw him this week. And my favorite pass of his was at the end. I believe it was 3rd down, and it was 3rd and long. Late in the game, we needed to convert to keep the ball. And I sent it to you guys from the All 22 angle. The first is a screenshot, obviously highlighting Kenny and then highlighting his target Pickens. Just because there's so much traffic there, and like I did not expect him to.
I was gonna say he's wide open.
Well, there's not really a defender around Pickens, but from Pickett to Pickens, there's a lot of traffic there.
A lot of blue.
There's a lot of
blue. Let's turn it red.
And when you watch it, Aaron Donald hits Kenny as he throws. So you can just watch the L22 view. It was a pick of like 32 yards at a clutch point in the game.
You want to describe it for the listeners? Or do you want me to tell you what I'm seeing?
Sure, you describe it.
All right, Kenny, shotgun from his own 20. It's 3rd and what?
I believe 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10. Steelers don't convert many of these. Shotgun takes the snap. They got 3 wide receivers, and Pickens is in the slot. Pickens is going up the seam, I believe.
Yep.
And he hits him. I mean,
around the 43.
Around the 40. Yep, 43. So that's a 33-yard completion. Not a blue jersey within 5 yards of him, but just kidding. Yeah, it's kind of splits defenders.
Yeah, so you can watch it from the top view angle, and then the next clip is like,
oh yeah, him getting. Okay, so I see him.
And you can see him get hit.
I see him get hit while he throws it. Oh, right over the hand of linebacker. Okay.
Gets hit in the shoulder by his offensive lineman first.
Yeah, and then Aaron Donald around his waist.
Not bad, Kenny.
I'd like to talk more about Kenny. Well, we can save that for later.
Did Aaron Donald have a sack?
Nope.
Wow.
Only a 2. I don't know if his last name. Guy on the defensive line was Michael Howicht or something, but
Broderick Jones showing out.
he didn't play because the guy. So he got his start 2 weeks against the Ravens because our starting left tackle got hurt, and starting left tackle is now healthy and he's back. Because I guess it's kind of fair. You shouldn't lose your job because of an injury. Tomlin adheres to that philosophy, which is, I mean, I get it. But he played well. Dan Moore, the starter, played well, so can't complain. But I'd like us to, I don't know, reshuffle the O-line, just get Broderick in there.
Yeah.
Because we have weak points in our O-line. Like, move Dan Moore over to the other tackle, shift around some guys.
Both of our teams coming off great O-line play. Love to see it.
I don't have an official. I didn't really look through compilation of film to find this throw.
Recovering.
But the most aesthetically pleasing throw I saw was the throw and catch from Tua to Tyreek Hill in the back left corner of the end zone. It was just a beautiful bomb that Tyreek Hill just graciously ran under and caught for the touchdown. They showed a side-by-side to Tua's doing that in the national championship game. Looked very similar. And yeah, that is my him throw. Did not result in a win, but just pleasing to watch that play. So, and then I have something we already talked about, the Jordan Addison catch. I nominate that for him catch of the week. All right.
That Tua throw did look like it was going straight to the sideline. It just drops right in Tyreek's hands.
Yeah.
It was, oh my God. It was especially beautiful for me because I needed Tyreek and Jalen Hurts to combine for like 40 to come back in fantasy, and they did it. Regardless of Tyreek's drops. And the worst is when you have a touchdown with a fantasy player and you get a holding call and he comes back. That happened once.
Or how about when Tyreek dropped the touchdown?
Yeah, yep, that too. But luckily, he's just matchup proof, and him combined with Jalen Hurts just got me the dub.
We made our game picks, and I have to say something. Let's just axe this segment. We don't make them on air. They're irrelevant.
But I'm good.
You weren't this week. 5-8.
I'm still like 62%.
I mean, we can just post them on Patreon if they want.
I was just joking because I'm ass. I'm so bad.
Well, this week I sent them in at 3 a.m. Like, so I wasn't locked in. Like, I had a good week last week, and I went 3-10 this week. You went 9-4, Andy.
What?
Or 4? No, you went 3-10. I went 4-9.
Yeah. I went 5-8.
Yeah, you went 5-8. So even when we're all ass, Jack is still better.
Jack is less ass.
But I'm back at 500. 51-51-3. Jack's 62-40-3, and Andy's 47-55.
Jack, when did you pick Jags?
I didn't.
None of us did.
But his text afterward was like, I assume we all picked Jags. I don't think you would have.
I would have.
I don't think you've been picking the Jags for a few weeks now.
Not true.
Do you think you would have picked Saints?
Yeah.
Given the spread, I think he would have.
The Saints were favored.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like Saints minus 1.5. I'm not picking the Saints as favorites.
Sorry. I apologize.
I accept it.
I'm looking forward to our Jags Steelers picks.
Me too.
Heavily looking forward to it.
Yep.
For that game, real quick, Trevor wasn't touched, like Eric just alluded to. Offensive line put out the best offensive line pass protection performances in the whole NFL this season. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, this past week or in general?
Jags versus Saints.
Okay.
The whole season of any NFL team.
I did see that. Yes.
Crazy.
Correct stat.
For a offensive line that's much maligned most of the year. Trevor had a bum knee. and still led the team in rushing figures. And what else I got to say about this one? The team is kind of opposite from last year when we would start slow and then have to catch up. We're kind of starting fast, but letting teams crawl back, and that happened in this game. The difference between how I was acting first half versus second half is kind of embarrassing because, we had Saints fans around us, and I was being a troll, but I wasn't saying anything directly to them.
We were all being trolled.
Yeah.
That was probably the worst I've ever been to away team fans. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, we were yelling at the top of our lungs, like anytime the Saints would do something bad, as if we were Saints fans. Like if they would go for a punt, we'd all boo with Saints fans.
Because Saints fans would boo. So I was booing at the top. I lost my voice because of it. Just booing at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, I could hear their
Get out of there. Yeah, I want to go for it. Come on, guys.
And when the Saints would get a first down, we would stand up and be like,
because they couldn't move the ball.
Damn chains. It was bad, but we were whooping their ass, so it was funny. And then they started coming back, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, they started coming back. Stadium got loud, and I was just like this.
Yeah, and he put his head down. He's sitting down. I'm looking over at him like, don't do this, man. You gotta own it. You gotta stand up and own it and take it.
And you yell Duval.
No, I'm not doing that.
No.
But no, that was when the Saints started coming back. This is the worst part of being that obnoxious when you're up.
Oh yeah, that's how confident I was though that we were just gonna run through them without any repercussions. But then your worst nightmare happens. You're a troll all game.
Yeah.
The team comes back and the fans around you are like, ha.
Yeah.
Why aren't you saying anything now? And you just feel so embarrassed.
24-24 and like every play matters now, and you're just like at the edge of your seat, just hoping that you're the successful team. It was that's why it was the best road game I've ever been to. Like all of that,
a lot of emotions.
Yeah, all of that put together made it the best trip. Especially coming out with the dub, obviously, was the best result. But, yeah, Trevor's starting to learn quickly about this team. Started pretty bad, but I feel like he knows his O-line's not protecting him well this season. So he's making really fast decisions, running more now, taking what the defense gives him, as you should as a quarterback when the pocket collapses, when the reads aren't there. Because Zay Jones really changes this offense. So I can't wait to have him back. But we were throwing to Jamal Agnew all game, and it was pretty frustrating. And Calvin Ridley had one catch, but everything else it didn't matter because we were clicking on offense, but it slowed down, as it has all season, pretty quickly. And, oh, man, we will be dominant force when Zay Jones comes back. I feel like,
really?
Yeah, I feel like he's the missing piece to us, like absolutely taking over. Because he just spreads it out more. Like why are we throwing to Agnew like 6 times? He is not our wide receiver 3, and he was that game.
But we have another player right now that could be getting those balls, Ridley.
Yeah, they just didn't use him that game.
And I think that's one reason why fans are like, Jags suck, even though they're 5-2, is because they probably have Ridley on their fantasy team, and he's not doing anything.
Right.
Don't care. Jaguars also have not trailed in a game since they lost to the Texans, which is crazy.
And obviously, if Calvin Ridley's getting one catch, it's obviously because of the game plan they had. Like Trevor's he's not looking at him at all. It's because Marcus Lattimore is on him. They're trying, and he was double teamed, so they got to find other ways to win. And if Zay Jones is out there, then we have more options to throw to instead of Agnew. Because like watching Agnew run an out route and him being too short to go up and grab it, had me pissed as hell.
Jags ranked high in a lot of power rankings I saw today, as high as 3 on Pro Football Talk and NBC Sports ranking. It was Chiefs, Eagles, Jags. Not sure how long that will last. Let's hope it does. But I will say I am sick of the Jags being like the cute pick when they're being ranked high, or people saying like things like, hey, we need to give this team some more attention. Look at them now. Like we're sneaking up on people. We made the playoffs last season. We just won 4 straight. Every single win in a different stadium. I think they said we crossed like 7 different time zones across that span. I don't know how that's possible. But
London.
Yeah, how many do you cross?
I don't know. Like 14 across the Atlantic.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
That's a lot.
Just seven different time zones, 4 wins in 19 days. Some teams don't even play 3 games in 19 days. Four wins, 19 days. We're 5-2. So stop acting like it's a cute pick to rank the Jaguars in like your top 5. Someone else that did it was Stephen A. Like people started laughing when he did it. I'm like, what? When are we going to get past this? It's okay for us to be a good team.
It's not. Not yet. My point is that one season of making the playoffs after like being the joke of the NFL and having less than 5 win seasons for 2 decades doesn't get wiped just because you're 5-2 one year. That's a lot to overcome after making the playoffs one year and being 5-2 the next. So I feel like it's going to take a lot longer to garner any respect around the league because we've never had it. So people aren't just going to be like, "Oh, Jags, they're 5-2. Let's put them up in the top 5 in the league." Like, I don't think that anybody has given the Jags credit besides Dan Orlovsky and Nick Wright for the past like year and a half. But everyone's so scared of being wrong about the Jags, so they're just being subjective for clicks. But even when Stephen A. put the Jags at 5th, I don't even think he believed it. But we got a lot of respect to earn still. Because we have, 2 winning seasons in the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Nah, it's more than that, but it's still low, pretty low.
Right.
But it feels good to be mentioned regardless. I'll take it.
Oh, I also had another revelation in the last few days. I don't care where Trevor ranks anymore in people's rankings. I don't care if people think he's better than Herbert. I don't care if he's better than Burrow. I don't care if he's ever as good as Mahomes. Well, I don't care if he's ranked as good as Mahomes. I think I've seen enough to where I think we can win a Super Bowl with him. So I do not give a fuck about like, I know I went off in the offseason about Good Morning Football's quarterback rankings. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I know we can win a Super Bowl with him, so that's all I need to know. So I don't care how good you think Trevor Lawrence is. I don't care if he throws for 102 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, as long as we win the game. Because I know once we get to the Super Bowl, I know what he's capable of if he needs to do it. So fantasy team struggling, don't care. I will continue to say what I've been saying since we lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs. The Jags need a pass rusher to complement Josh Allen. And if we get that, we can 100% compete for the 1 seed and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I've been saying it since January of last season. Which brings me to our guest, John Shipley, Jags beat reporter for the Jaguar Report over at SI.com. And he also hosts the Jaguars Report podcast. John, good evening.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing good, John. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
I want to know if you see it the same. We're either, if we make a move before the trade deadline, we're either looking for a star that could put us over the edge and make that Super Bowl, make that be like Super Bowl favorites or at least contenders, be a huge difference maker, or we're looking for someone to replace Arden Key's production from last season because the front office may have overlooked how important that rotational player may have been. Hold on.
That's not talking.
Hey, John, start over real quick. My phone disconnected from Bluetooth, but you're here now.
Okay, sweet. No, the architect wouldn't have overlooked Arden Key, man. That's not in faulty ball DNA. No, I think it's a little bit of both. I think like when you look at their pass rush, like I know internally their argument all summer was like, okay, if we're bringing a guy for pass rush, where's he going to play? When's he going to play? Because we have Trayvon, you have Josh Allen, etc. They, for some reason, would keep bringing up Chase on in those arguments.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to see Smoot's name a little bit, but man, there's still so many snaps out there that can be divided for a pass rusher. Like Trayvon and Josh Allen are both top 10 in like snaps among like all edge guys right now, and you can basically eliminate Chase on snaps and cut Smith in half, give Walker a little bit of a break, and I think you're golden. So I think it could be both of those things. I really think that if you just add one guy to give some juice to that nickel package, let them potentially move Trayvon around a little bit more and just overall have more versatility to where when you pull Trayvon off the field, you're not putting Chase on it basically at all. I think like that alone, like you don't, in my opinion, you don't need like a blue chip guy. You don't need Chase Young or Danielle Hunter to put this defense over the top. I mean, it's already a top 10 defense by pretty much every metric, and they've done that with literally like one bona fide pass rusher on the entire roster. So I think if you can even just get a solid pass rusher, like a guy who can maybe even be like a designated pass rusher, somebody who can get maybe 5-6 sacks over the second half of the season, and just be somebody to help Trayvon basically move around more and get a more productive like nickel defensive line, I think you're golden. But on the other hand, if they do have a chance to get that kind of guy, like a Chase Young, a Danielle Hunter type, I think like if you have that chance, you have to go for it because the window is right now.
Right. Yeah.
The AFC, everybody talked about it all offseason. Me too, about being, one of the best like places the conference has ever been, just in terms of high quality teams. It does not look that good this year. It's a wide open AFC, so I think they can definitely make things happen.
So if we did go after the Chase Young Danielle Hunter looks, like you said in your article, a little bit less likely now, especially since the Vikings won. That would require more of a change and move around at the D line than just getting a rotational guy, right?
Yeah, I think so, and that's why I honestly think a rotational guy, a guy like Josh Uche with New England, I might have butchered his name. Apologies if I did. Or Carl Lawson with the Jets. I think just looking at it from a GM's perspective. So, rest in peace, Bo Jackson, one of the best Jags Twitter accounts ever. He back in the day put it really well to me. It's like GMs, their job is only a little bit about winning football games, and it's a lot about building job security. So, and that doesn't go just for Trent Baalke. That goes for literally 32 GMs out of 32. So if you're a GM, you can make the case to your owner a lot better that you're valuable if you're getting a guy to complement Trayvon as opposed to getting a guy like Hunter or Young and kind of basically admitting quietly, okay, maybe we made a mistake with this pick.
Yeah. How have the Jaguars put together a top 10 defense this year with one pass rusher?
It's been Mike Caldwell deserves his flowers. I really didn't know if, not to say if he had it in him as a coordinator. There were only so many defensive coordinators in the NFL who were difference makers, and I wasn't sure if he could be one of those guys or if he was more of a kind of average type coordinator. But he's done it extremely well this year with what he has. I mean, a big part of it is Josh Allen is obviously playing the best football of his career. I think if you got a different version of Josh Allen from years past in this defense, it probably wouldn't work as well. But I mean, just up and down the board, he's asking guys to do things that they do well. There's not many guys you can look at the defense outside of Trayvon, which seems more like an organizational thing than anything else, who are playing out of position. They have Tyson and Darius on the outside where both belong, even though both have played slot before. They run a lot of zone. They're one of the highest zone coverage teams in the league. They run some of the least man coverage in the entire league. And that's what their cornerbacks are best at. That's what, Trey Herndon, for, pretty much every time you've ever seen him compete on a rep, it feels like it's man coverage and a guy's just running by him. Well, they don't ask him to do that much. They ask him to do the things he does well. So I think he definitely deserves a lot of credit, basically for knowing his players and not trying to fit, square pegs and round holes. And he's also done, a lot of fun stuff schematically, a lot of the blitzes and pressure packages he has. You saw Foye and Herndon, with some nice blitzes against New Orleans. I think that's a way you can kind of offset not having a lot of juice in terms of pass rush. You kind of scheme up pressure. And also, his philosophy in general, we're in an NFL world where, there were a bunch of Brandon Staleys who are, kind of forgetting about first and second down and trying to focus on third down, whereas Mike Caldwell and some of the other, top defenses right now, they're focusing on first and second down, just philosophy-wise, and focusing on stopping the run to create advantageous pass rush situations. So I think you put all that together, and he's had like a hell of a year.
Yeah. What's up, John? Eric here. I'm not much of an X's and O's guys, but even I can see when a guy like Derek Carr has 10 seconds to throw in the pocket. Do you think Mike Caldwell is in the offices just begging for them to trade for another pass rusher right now?
So I had said, I told my guy Gus Lowe, like a few days before the game, like that the Saints game was the game to determine like their level of, I wouldn't say panic, but their level of like how much action you need to take at the trade deadline. Like if they couldn't get pressure against that Saints line, then you need to, hurry up and make a move. And I thought it summed up their pass rush like perfectly well. Like it was literally Josh Allen putting the entire pass rush like on his back. I think they had 19 pressures or something, and he had 11 of them, and Fourier had like another 4. So it definitely was a game where I think you come out of it, like even with the win and even with Allen's performance, and you're like, okay, this shows me that, some kind of move needs to be made. Because, I mean, Cam Irving, he's one of those, like, tackles who's always in, like, highlight clips for pass rushers. And there wasn't, like, a single one on Thursday night.
Not at all.
Jack?
Yeah, I got a question. Jack here. Another voice coming at you. When I guess I got 2 questions. When I think of the Jags, I guess weaknesses that I'd look to improve at the deadline, offensive line comes to mind. It's kind of put in a tough spot because, I can't think of the last time an O lineman or like a top one, or that just feels like a tough position to acquire through the deadline. Do you think they possibly look at someone? I know O line depth is kind of suffering across the league, so it feels like they're in a tough spot there. But do you think there's any potential candidates out there to acquire?
Yeah, I think there's a couple guys. Mike Aquinu with Patriots. He's played like left guard, right guard, and right tackle. I would have said like a week ago he's probably like readily available because they've kind of bounced him around. He hasn't been an every week starter, but he like their worst position on their lines in right tackle. He filled in there in week 7 and had a really good game. So maybe he's not as available as he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Whitehair in Chicago. He's played left guard. He's played right guard. He's played center. He hasn't played it very well, but he's played it. So he's another guy who I think would make sense. He fits their system. The only thing is he's due like $10 million next year. So you would obviously have to rework the contract. But I think like in terms of like anything other than pass rusher at the deadline, I think offensive line is what they need to look at. Because I know you're going to get Walker Little back eventually, and he's more likely than not a very good left guard. But like left guard has been a revolving door for them this year. It seems obvious like they don't think Ben Barch is really a solution there. And then Brandon Sheriff, probably the toughest dude on the team, but I'm not sure he could pass TSA with his ankles right now. Like there's like dude is literally being held together at this point. So for as tough as he is, you have to factor in the chance of him potentially missing games at some point this year. So I would definitely, if I was them, try to make some kind of move happen for a guard, and not like a Cole Van Lannon type move, because I guarantee you they thought that was going to be something that could be substantial, but like an actual dude who could play.
You mentioned, O-line would be the other position group you look for outside a pass rusher. I was just looking at like the Jags defense as a whole compared to others in the league. The Jags pass defense is 31st in terms of yards. Do you think they look for someone in the secondary, or do you think adding a better pass rusher would help mitigate those yards allowed?
It's because we're always up by 20 points, Jack. The teams are chasing points.
It's new days in Jackson. I literally think that's it, and I think that's the first time you can say that in franchise history. Because
right,
you're right. Like they are giving up like a good chunk of yardage in the passing game, but they're not giving them up in big moments. Like they're still really efficient, on third downs mostly, and like most of the plays are like big shot plays. Like you would never guess it from watching that game, but Gardner Minshew had 3 passes completed that game like 40-plus yards. And just little plays like that, like Tank Dell being a blown coverage merchant in week 3. 2 different blown coverages amounting to like 110 passing yards. It's just little plays like that. Stephon Diggs had like a 50-yard catch. I just think like some of these explosive catches have really stacked up for them. I think they like their their cornerback room. Their secondary has been really good all year. The biggest issue they've had with cornerback is literally all their backups have been like basically like falling off, like flies weekly. Like somebody's getting put on IR each week, but they're getting Greg Jr. back soon. Christian Braswell will probably be back a little bit after the bye. I think that they're comfortable with their quarterback room right now.
Can you give us give us the names from your article? Who would be the splash guys if Balky tried to swing for the fences, and then give us your maybe your rotational guys.
I obviously Danielle Hunter is their first splash. He I think leads the NFL in sacks right now. He hasn't been quite as good this year as the sack numbers indicate, but he's an established Pro Bowl guy. He turns 29, I think, sometime this week. So he is nearing 30 a little bit. And then you have to factor in that you're going to have to pay him after this year. And with the Vikings winning some games recently, like they're on a 2-game win, the Fighting Justice Mosquitoes in Green Bay this week, I think overall, they're probably trending to be a team that's not really selling. So I'm not sure how likely a Hunter deal is. But if you want to go for like a home run, I think it's Chase Young. I would give up a first for Chase Young because I don't think there's anybody you can pick in the late 20s where the Jags are going to pick who is better than who's better than Chase Young right now. Like Chase Young, as good as Josh Allen has been this year, Chase Young has better pressure and win rate numbers and everything like that. And that's not a knock on Allen. That's just Chase Young has been crazy good this year. It's just for him, bad luck. The 1 year he's turning it up. The Commanders are having one of their worst seasons in the last couple of years. So I think he'd be a home run. In terms of rotational guys, I think Josh Uche, Carl Lawson, neither one of them is really a 3-down player. Uche pretty much never plays rundowns for the Patriots. He's kind of a pure fastball pitcher off the edge on 3rd down, which I think would make a lot of sense for the Jaguars and what they want. And then Carl Lawson honestly reminds me a little bit of Arden Key. He can line up inside. He can line up outside. He's not even a bad player. He's just the Jets have spent 2 first-round picks on defensive ends in the last 2 years. And, again, it goes back to the GM and job security thing. You can't be having a guy playing over your first-round picks because, then what are you going to say to your owner?
Right. I didn't see Montez Sweat on your article, but I saw a lot of talk about him on Twitter. What was your thinking with him?
So I think it seems like the consensus from the Washington beat guys I follow is that if they were good to trade one of the two, it'd probably be Young, just because Sweat is a more, I guess you could say, proven and consistent player. He hasn't had as many injury issues in the past. He's seen more as a building block there than Young is. And you can probably, if you're Washington, you can probably get more for Young than you could for Sweat. Sweat's a good player too. He had a really good game against the Jaguars in Week 1 last year. It's just, I think he'd be hitting a solid double, whereas opposed to Chase Young, I think is hitting home run.
Yeah. Second to last question for me. Do you think a move is made?
I'm going to say yes.
Whoa.
Because
nice. Thank God.
See, I'm wrong most of the time when I make
Change your mind. Go.
I want to take that back. I feel like they know that this is our window. This is the time where the AFC is wide open. If we have
he did the Ridley thing.
Exactly, and the Ridley thing was for 2023 too. So it shows you they're willing to go in and make big moves. I think a move for a guy a rotational guy is way more likely. I don't think a Hunter trade happens, and I'm pretty sure a Chase Young trade wouldn't happen. But I do think that they bring in somebody because I don't think you can go into the trade deadline with their current setup.
Well, if they did, then we just have to hope that they unleash Yasir Abdullah for once because he's been inactive a few weeks now.
Hey, man, he's got the same amount of pressures as Chase on this year, and he has 6 see fewer pass rush.
Oh wow.
Yikes.
I would just like to see more of him because he was a beast in preseason, which I know doesn't mean nothing, but like he looks like he's got it there in terms of the pass rush game.
No, for sure, and he definitely brings some juice. Like he has like one rep a game where you're like, okay, this guy has something. It seems like this staff, especially, and this is like even going back, like they just basically don't trust rookies to the point where they would trust Chase on with like his 15 snaps or whatever a game more than they would trust a guy who's clearly outplaying him just because Chase on maybe knows a little bit more what's going on.
Crazy.
Okay, last question, and I'm going to make you make another prediction. Do you think Jags Niners gets flexed?
And the entire country can see Brock Purdy continue to turn into a pumpkin. Mike Caldwell will have Kyle Shanahan and the full Nelson on prime television. You can put that out there.
It cut out when you gave your answer, but I assume you said you think so.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think just the way that the Jaguars are rolling right now,
Wow.
I have no idea who the 49ers play next week, but I would assume they pick it up some. But I think you'll be on prime television. The Bengals?
Wow.
I don't know, man. Brock Purdy versus Hampton Brock Purdy. I don't know, man.
Damn, that's a great comparison.
I'll do what I can.
All right. Appreciate you taking the time. Enjoy the rest of your night. Hopefully we'll have you on again. First time.
I appreciate you guys. I've been listening a while. Happy to be on.
Thank you, John, for coming on the pod, and thank you to all the non-Jags fans that sat through a very lengthy Jaguars segment. All right, moving on to the other games from this past weekend that we care to mention. I just have something quick to say about Raiders-Bears. We kind of already mentioned that the Raiders lost to a Division II rookie quarterback. So my question to you guys is, who gets fired first, Josh McDaniels or Staley?
It's got to be McDaniels.
Yeah, because I think they're going to be worse.
I mean, the Raiders are...
Raiders are horrible. Raiders are terrible.
Like the Chargers have some promise. Like they could end up being like 9-8, but the Raiders are going to be like
the Raiders have some pieces. Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, but they can't do anything.
Shit with it.
That's literally it, though.
Yeah.
And if your running back's like your big piece, he's not having a good year either. Jacobs had a
he's not.
Great year last year.
Someone tried to trade him.
I kind of think it was a contract year, so that's why. But yeah.
Oh, Mitch has him now.
He tried to trade me today. Big trade. Right before we play this week. Like, what are the balls?
Yeah, they do that in that league. They like to do that. Scammers. Browns 39, Colts 38.
NFL changed their Twitter bio after this game to Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah. Jack, care to comment?
I didn't know that, and I don't like it.
Oh. Yeah, so I want you to comment.
Please him.
Who's the best pass rusher in the AFC North? And probably the NFL.
Who?
Yeah.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Who do you think I'm going to say?
Just say it.
Trey Hendrickson.
It's
TJ, but I mean,
Defensive Player of the Year. It's close, right?
It's close. I mean, statistically,
crazy.
They're close. I'd make an argument for TJ's slight edge, but the main reason I'd give it to TJ to argue for him,
because his plays win games.
Yeah, like he's honestly accounted for 3 wins of the Steelers.
The
first one.
The Browns won by how many points?
It was like 2.
And Myles Garrett blocked a field goal by jumping over the center. That's crazy.
So he won.
That's cleared him.
Yeah,
that's one game.
That's one game. He just got 3.
He fucking cleared him. I saw that and I was like, this is why he was body goals.
Is he still?
I mean, yeah, still far, but
the bio thing I don't like because, like, I mean, honestly, from a pure unbiased perspective, like it's immediate. Like they're kind of just like painting the narrative. Like
it's already out. Yeah, they are. It's not fair.
It isn't fair, but Yeah.
It's different than putting like the Chiefs are 2-0 since Taylor Swift or something. That's a little different because NFL doesn't really.
But this is an award that media, like,
Right.
oh, the NFL's putting out there, Myles Garrett should be DPOY, then I guess we should vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. Bijan.
Oh, whoa. I have an idea.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
More rigging.
Jack. Oh, no, this wasn't a sleeping one. But you should tell your sleeping one. You're sleeping. You woke up in the middle of the night when we get to the Steelers game. But what is this one? You had an idea in the middle of the day that would break the NFL.
Yes, and it was
Better be good.
Inspired by the play that you just said it, where Myles Garrett
Jumped over.
Yes.
Blocked the field goal.
Which the rules always kind of confuse me of like what you can and can't do on I don't know, with the center. You can't line up right on him for like a field goal, but whatever. But this is clean what Myles Garrett did. If you can jump directly over the snapper as long as you don't touch him.
Yeah, you can't touch anybody.
So why hasn't the NFL poached NBA players to do exactly what Myles Garrett did? They could literally block every single. Like imagine Wemby, he could easily. He can stand up, but I mean, he can jump high. He could easily jump over the snapper, and he's 7'5",
and he's a player that doesn't need to play just field goals.
Yeah, just as a special teamer,
that's valuable enough.
Well, the thing is, you can't poach Wemby. Like
yeah,
you can only pay a special teamer like that. Like I don't know, maybe $1 million a year, which those guys are whatever get paid so much. But pay like a guy. I mean, like an NBA reject, like a G League player who like
got hops.
Yeah, like a 6'10", 6'11" G League player who can get up high and they block every punt.
Yeah,
they would block every
Would
kick.
they need to? Are you asking them to jump over the center every time?
Yes.
Okay.
But it would. I think that'd be so successful that they'd outlaw it.
It's a good comparison because Myles Garrett, I almost said Myles Garrett actually does play basketball and jumps and fucking dunks and shit.
But he's only
6'3".
He's 6'4". Yeah, 6'3", 6'4". Like imagine someone who can jump just as high but has a wingspan that's a foot longer and he's like 8 inches taller than him.
So one roster spot for an NBA G League player.
Yeah.
Or
it could win games.
But literally you're stopping the team from scoring 3 points every time. Like it's literally
and
points
1 point
turn to.
Yeah, after touchdowns. Where I thought you were going was and this is a possibility. Why haven't teams held up a player and thrown him over the line when the ball snapped?
That's hard to
get two players.
Launch an NFL player.
No, get your smallest guy. Get 2 players.
It's like cheerleading.
Yes.
When they lift them up.
Yes. Just start.
Like
Wait, are you allowed to do that?
Like toss Agnew over the line?
Why? Are you allowed to do a little cheerleader formation where you just hold someone on your shoulders and get them up there?
You got spikes that would hurt.
It doesn't matter. There's 3 points. Why?
Well,
There's got to be against the rules, right?
I'm sure it's not until they do it.
No, they would have done it already.
No.
Why have
those are heavy guys?
Damn it! We need some kind of coach or someone to ask this to.
My idea would break the NFL.
I think mine would too.
Maybe.
If possible. Something else.
Yours would cause controversy, like the brotherly shove.
Mm-hmm.
Yours would be like, oh,
that'd be
Damian
sick.
Lillard's in the league.
How about? It's not the transition word I was going for. I thought the field goal thing was going to change when Belichick did that thing where he took the guy to the side to time the snap. That hasn't been done again. That's weird.
That's tough to do, though. It's tough to time it like that. I mean, they must practice it.
I think
it's good special teams. So.
I think he was asked about it, and he said like there was a clear indicator before they would snap the ball every time.
Okay,
so that's how he timed it up. Falcons. The only reason I'm talking about Falcons Bucks is because the Falcons are under an investigation by the NFL because Bijan Robinson got 0 touches, 1 touch. Not sure what it was.
I think it was 1, and it was like late in the 4th quarter too.
So why give it to him?
Yeah.
So if you have him on your fantasy team, you definitely felt that one. Do you have him on any of your 5 or 6 or
Bijan?
7?
No.
Alex does, and he still won. So
wow.
That's why he's second. Shout out Alex.
Yeah.
This shows more that the Bucks are pitiful. You can't beat the Falcons without their best player.
There's always these teams that we start to believe in that just end up showing you why you should have never believed in them. And the Bucks appear to be one of them. But they have a chance to get right this week versus the Bills.
Oh, yes. Thursday Night Football. 8.5-point spread.
Lions, Ravens.
Yes, Lamar went dummy, boy. 4 touchdowns. I know he's on your fantasy.
Another dummy player on my fantasy team this weekend.
3 passing, 1 rushing, 357 pass yards. Start of his MVP season. And Lamar said it was just a glimpse of what's to come. So be scared, AFC North, which is the only division that has no teams under 500. So
yeah, do you think the AFC North could have all teams in the playoffs?
No, I think Browns are
frauds.
Shit. Yeah, they're frauds.
They got Myles Garrett. I thought he was MVP.
He is, but
that's what NFL wants you to think.
You want to change? You want us to change our bio to
TJ Watt?
TJ Watt, DPOY.
The Jags community would probably love that this week.
Ooh, yeah.
Myles Garrett did all of that, and the Colts had 38 points. That's crazy. Not a force enough, I guess.
Steelers 24. Wow. Versus the Rams, who scored 17. Jack, I have one question, but I'll let you talk about the game if you have anything to say.
What's your one question? Then I'll talk about the game.
The Steelers, I saw this on Twitter. Steelers are like 30th. They rank 30th in yards on offense. And then yards. Oh, and then yards allowed on defense. Is that true?
Correct. 30th yards allowed, 31st in yards gained on offense.
How the hell are they 4-2? If that's not the most Mike Tomlin stat I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, you can attribute that to like we gave up a lot of yards. So we're 30th in yards allowed on us. But we're only, I think, 16th in points allowed. So I guess you could say we're a big bend but don't break defense. Like we force a lot of field goals. Turnovers were very good. I think we're 4th in the league in turnovers.
First.
How many from Watt?
Well, he has 2 fumble recoveries and a pick.
Oh, yeah, that pick was crazy.
And again, so why I think TJ Watt is more deserving of this DPOY as of right now, like his turnover, like the plays he makes, statistically, it's very similar to Myles Garrett, but he makes his plays at such opportune times, like, and essentially wins us games. Like in week 2 against the Browns, he had the fumble recovery, scored a touchdown to put us in the lead late in the 4th quarter. Against the Ravens, he had another fumble recovery late in the 4th quarter, and then later in the 4th quarter, he had a sack to seal it. This game, I know his pick was the first play of the second half, so it wasn't too late, but Steelers offense sucked in the first half, had no momentum, and then that completely switched momentum. He picked off Stafford right away and runs it to within the 5. So it's another like a play like that. Our offense isn't gaining yards. TJ Watt just gains the yards on that play, right, but it results in points.
So you're saying he takes plays off?
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Any other word about this game? Good, very impressive to go to the West Coast and win.
Yeah, and Tomlin does not have a good record on the West Coast.
I saw a lot of people saying start Jaylen Warren. What do you say about that?
That's a big thing among Steelers fans, Steelers Twitter media, but I get it. Jaylen Warren, his yards per carry is a little higher, and he is truly good. Like whenever he gets the ball, he feels like he just makes plays, and he's smaller and quicker, has more burst than Najee, no doubt. I truly do think that they're solid as a tandem. Like if we gave Jaylen Warren like all the carries that we gave Najee, it wouldn't. I mean, I don't think Jaylen Warren's his body. He's small. I think he's like 5'8". He could sustain. Jeez. The type of hits that Najee gets. It's very predictable. Also, when we got Najee in there, like we know we're gonna run it, and it's, So, but Najee, as it did in this game, when our offensive line gets pushed, which we did in the beginning of the game and kind of throughout. No.
Push.
when he gets momentum and he's not met with defenders in the backfield, that's where he really does damage because he's so big. So he had a solid game. He had his first rushing touchdown of the year. The Steelers haven't had a rushing touchdown. Yeah, you heard it on the broadcast when you were listening. We have no rushing touchdowns the whole year until this game, and we had 3. But the offense looked bad in the first half, and
look forward to that.
Took the TJ Watt spark, and we got a
not looking forward to TJ Watt spark.
An easy rushing touchdown in third quarter off that interception, and then the fourth quarter, our offense actually looked like an offense for the first time ever. Like we were, mainly through it was a mix of run and pass. We got both the touchdowns in the fourth quarter off the run, but I mean it was working. I don't know.
Wait, no pass touchdowns? They were all rushing.
Yeah, we had 3 rush touchdowns.
Won't bode well for your Sunday.
No, I mean we're not really a good rush team. I think we're what are we? I have it here. In rush yards per game, we're 28th in the league.
Wow. Keep going.
So, and then Kenny specifically, I said he had a good game, which he did. And Steelers Twitter and the media, after a good Kenny game, I just search Kenny Pickett on Twitter and just read everything. And everyone's like, this guy sucks at the first 3 quarters and turns to Tom Brady in the fourth, which I have his passer rating by quarter.
You're obsessed.
He first quarter 45 passer rating, second quarter 76, third quarter 92, fourth quarter 102. Among all NFL quarterbacks, he's 5th in the league in passer rating in the fourth quarter. He's just clutch. He has 6 game-winning drives in his career. He had about 2 this year, 4 last year, 2 this year. Yeah. I don't know what else I have to say.
Very happy for you.
Yeah, great win. Mike Tomlin's him.
We're still not good.
Unfortunately,
we're okay. We're solid, maybe.
Unfortunately, you had to suffer an Eagles win that night.
I did.
When they just pummeled the Dolphins. It really didn't look like, all year it's like, yeah, the Dolphins are ranked top 5. It's Dolphins, Eagles, both great offenses. They finally, and then you get the Tua Fields storyline. They play, and it really wasn't that close. The Eagles O&D line, like, it's just not. It's not a competition. Every game they play, it's not fair. But want to talk about the tush push.
I love that play.
Fuck you. I didn't realize this until I heard someone else say it. That's typical of me. But
ew,
the Eagles are basically every down. It's not 1st and 10. It's 1st and 9.
Yeah. That plays
pretty
unstoppable.
Much.
That's crazy to think about. Like, you wonder how, over a course of a season, how that adds up in their favor. How many more drives they extend, how much more time of possession, how many more points it equates, because every time they move the chains, it's 1st and 9, not 1st and 10.
I sent you links of Sirianni because I hate him so much.
Yeah, you sent this.
Oh, did I send it to you?
Before. Okay. Which one do you want? Oh.
Both? Either one? The first one is him or you look at the one at him at like the media at the press conference.
That's I want to play that one.
He's talking about
right. But like you've seen it, right? You've seen it across the league that people can't do it like we can do it. They can't do it like we can do it. If everyone could do it, everybody would. Where's the camera? If everybody could do it, everybody would do it. Because you've seen it, right? You've seen it.
I'm not anti-Philly like Jack is, but Nick Sirianni is just, he just seems like he got the most smug look. And,
yeah, and then the other, you don't have to play it, but the other clip I sent you is just him after the game. We were talking about coaches like of good teams just want to paint the narrative they're being doubted. And he was like yelling so cringily. Oh, that's not a word. Of just like, keep doubting the Eagles. Like you screaming it, like walking to the locker room post game. Like no one's doubting the Eagles. Everyone thinks they're a top 3 team, if that, like top 2, top 1 maybe. Like
literally, even after the draft, and they got those 2 players in the first.
Yeah,
and we were like, "Yep, Super Bowl." No one's ever.
No one's doubting you. No one's doubting the Eagles.
But
they're not anymore with Kevin Byard, another Howie Roseman.
That trade is just, I mean, got him for just basically straight up Terrell Edmonds. Like the picks were a 5th and 6th rounder.
How does Howie keep getting away with this?
I don't know. teams should just stop trading with him because he just fleeces everyone.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get screwed. But blind confidence, I guess, of NFL GMs.
Was he still the GM in the? He's been there for a while, right? Was he there in the Mike Vick era?
I don't think he was there. He's been there that long. I'll look.
It's okay. I don't care that much.
I do. I see the Eagles get 4th and 1 so much that I'm starting to think that they just run plays on purpose to get 1 yard.
Any idea how to stop it? I tweeted this. Could a defensive line full of Aaron Donalds do it?
No.
No.
But wait, could they stop it?
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. But that doesn't exist. It's impossible.
Just
Like,
Jalen Hurts is just so big, and then he just gets pushed from behind, and he just always finds the perfect hole to get through there for 1 yard.
Usually more.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like 5. I'm like, what the fuck? This is just a QB sneak. And
Why don't they just do it every play?
Right?
It's not like, I mean, teams know it's coming when
Longest-
they won.
Yeah.
Longest drive ever.
I mean, if they can
Jalen Hurts probably just get killed, though.
Yeah.
If
I'm
they
surprised
can
he
get
hasn't yet.
3 yards, 3 on first, 3 on second. Say they only need so it's 6, 7, 8. They only need 3 more,
4 more
to get to 9, and that's now you have 4th and 1. Do it again.
Just do it the whole drive.
You just need a combination of 9 yards in your first 3 tries, in your first 3 tush pushes, because you know you'll get that 4th and 1. Interesting. And why are people calling a ban for it because of injuries? No one's gotten injured yet.
I mean,
I think those are just haters.
Just to be controversial.
They are mostly just haters, probably. But they could dig into, like, I don't know. You got to really look into, like, where is Jalen Hurts making contact with his helmet to someone, like, that's just, like, increased of danger. So, like, I bet they could, and someone will, I'm sure, in the league office, just dive into, like, the analytics of, like, how much greater risk of head injuries is causing the quarterback and the guys behind him. I don't know.
It would take a while to figure that out.
Yeah.
It's been fun for me with Jalen Hurts on my fantasy team, though. So,
if all of the 2022-2023 Eagles offensive linemen in 40 years start dropping like flies, then we'll know.
Then they'll ban it.
Then they'll ban it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they start losing their memory or whatever. Niners, Vikings, wow. Was expecting a dud of a game, but Kirk Cousins played the best game that I've seen from him in a long time.
Thank you,
That
Kirk.
was just exhilarating quarterback play, like a masterpiece of a performance from quarterback. I mean, even he did throw that one ball behind Addison, but Addison saved him and stole it back. The Vikings defense, I didn't know they were this good. Maybe they're not. Maybe they just, I don't know what the 49ers, what the 49ers came up against when they weren't able to execute their flawless Niners offense last night. I saw someone say Brock Purdy has finished his Linsanity run. Yeah.
I mean, that's just another quarter people are going to turn on quickly. Just like,
yeah,
I don't know. He was like in our clown MVP talks, Brock Purdy, and then 2 bad games, and now he's done. Career's done. It's just like we react so quickly to quarterback performances, but no one's going to be perfect every week.
I was nervous as hell this game because the guy I was going against in our league had 49ers D, and when the game started, it put him up by like less than half a point. And I was like, I'm done. Kirk's in primetime. He's going against the Niners defense. I'm going to be 2-5. And first drive was an interception. And then he just came out and started playing like Tom Brady. I was like, oh shit, I'm back. We coming. So shout out to Kirk Cousins. I don't know how you did it, but you did it without JJ.
Such a good, he's such an easy guy to root for, especially after watching quarterback. Just, he looks like he's having so much fun. It's good to see him succeed.
Like KJ Osborne, who? Just tossing it to anybody.
So Purdy was without
Debo.
Okay.
That's it, I think.
No, then the offense, Trent Williams, was he out?
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
So and he was pressured all night. So if you can pressure Purdy, looks like you can rattle him because he threw a couple picks. Something I've written here. How do the Niners have fans everywhere?
They're plants.
Should we go back to the segment? Like taking over Minnesota's stadium. You're going to Minnesota. Like you figure you want to make like a vacation out of wherever you're traveling. Minnesota.
Chill.
You guys are going to Pittsburgh.
Late October. That sounds beautiful. I don't understand. Are they traveling? Do they live there?
No.
I don't walk around here and see Niners hats, Niners jerseys.
I heard US Bank is a great stadium though. Like beautiful.
But they're going to be where are the Bengals say they play in Cincinnati. They'll be flooded there too. When they come here, half the stadium is going to be Niners. Where do they come from? I don't know where these fans come from. I mean,
they probably got a strong fan base and they were dominant in the 80s to 90s.
Right, and I understand, but I see I see Raiders fans everywhere. I see Cowboys fans everywhere. I just don't see do they just not have great looking outfits?
Do you see Raiders fans?
Yeah, I see Raiders shirts, hats, very popular.
Really?
Team to see. I see Steelers stuff everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Because you see me every week.
Okay. Well, I'm on my own there. No problem.
I don't see the Cali teams too often, but yeah, I don't understand how they take over stadiums either.
Yeah, what else? Like the historic teams, I guess Steelers, Niners, Cowboys make sense. I don't know. They have a historic, successful franchise.
It's just okay. Yeah, it's just that they do it every state. I don't get it. And I
get it. Yeah, Steelers fans are traveling really well too. Eagles fans. Yeah, we got to find this quality that runs rampant between these fan bases that travel.
Prize Picks.
Like
my friend was a yard away from a 6-pick hitting that would have won him. I can't remember how much it was. $1,250.
I think it was.
That's $2,500.
$2,500.
Yeah, it was up there.
1 yard. I don't even want to tell you what I would do if I didn't get that.
What would you do?
Yeah, what would you?
Don't want to tell you.
Yes, Prize Picks. I've got an NBA one tonight. NBA is back. Come on, bruh. I'm so good at NBA. This one I'm about to tell you tonight.
Just ended.
You're good at everything.
Come on now.
TBH. I love that.
Prize Picks, they gave us a free Steph Curry square, 0.5 points. So you already know I took that. Paired it with Jamal Murray points. Let's see what he had right now.
I have like nothing.
18.
Oh, he's
needs one more bucket. And then Kevin Looney, y'all already know I took his rebounds because that man averaged like 18 a game last season. So that's a late game tonight. So his projection's at 9.5 rebounds. And it's just NBA. I feel like NBA is more fun than NFL to do Prize Picks with. It's more fun to watch unless your players is breaking it all over the place. But football's stressful, man. Football is too stressful.
Should we build a Jag Steelers or no?
Oh, great idea.
Is the board up?
Yeah, they got some up.
No, we have to do it for the video, so we'll do it during the video. The Jags Steelers preview.
Okay.
But yes, instant deposit match up to $100. Use code Dunn and Drew. Minimum $10 deposit, please. Other headlines, we're watching the World Series right now. I had a question for Jack.
Or not.
NLCS.
Oh, yes. Fucking baseball. Don't know it. So, Jack.
Oh, yeah. I went on a rant here in the dock.
A rant. So, yes, the Rangers beat the Astros, the almighty Astros, in 7 yesterday. And this same Rangers team went 68-94 last year and 60-102 the year before that. So, how in the hell can you just buy players and go to the World Series the next year and beat a team like the Astros, who've been together for, I don't know, they've been doing this for like 5+ years now in the postseason? How are they able to do that?
Can I add a layer to the question?
Yeah.
And how come the Yankees, who try buying players every year, never get this far? On to Jack.
Well, to answer your first question, you can do it in baseball. There's no salary cap. So, I mean, that just feels like if you have a rich owner, it just, your opportunities just feel endless because, like, okay, just keep paying guys. It's just, I don't understand the concept coming from a team that has bottom of the league in payroll Our payroll's like $40 million. But
it's the players they bought. Were they the ones that were scoring all the runs? Were they the effective ones this season?
Well, I guess for runs, I know they signed Jacob deGrom, a name you may have heard of.
Yeah, I've taken him in Prize Picks once or twice.
More. I mean, like, great pitcher for the Mets a couple years ago. Kind of like he's just been so hurt, and he got hurt this year, so that was kind of a waste. Yeah, non-factor this year. At the deadline, the big trade, they got Max Scherzer.
Big trade.
Another name you may have heard of.
I know him.
So, I mean, I know their rotation is really good. They got Nathan Eovaldi, formerly of the Red Sox.
Nope, not doing it.
Nope. Haven't heard that one.
Jordan Montgomery, formerly of the Cardinals. I think he was at the deadline.
Nope.
They made good moves. Their rotation's really good. Offensively, 2 years ago, they got Marcus Semien. He was of the A's. He's a shortstop. No. Different races.
I'm not comprehending how you go from 60 and 102 to the World Series just from buying some players that I've never heard of.
Corey Seager?
I've heard of him this year.
Okay, he was of the Dodgers a couple years ago.
But I guess that's just what makes baseball amazing, because you have this parity in the league every single year for the most part. I know Astros were.
Well, I've never seen the Diamondbacks play.
Yeah, Diamondbacks haven't
in my life
won a World Series
it's tied.
Since I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know
have
either.
They ever?
I don't
know. They have 2001.
Yeah, like Randy Johnson days. Yeah,
and the Rangers have never won a World Series.
Yeah,
I actually looked this up.
Yeah.
They're the oldest team in the league that has not won a World Series.
Yeah, they made it there in 2011. I think lost the Cardinals. If I'm not mistaken.
I do a little bit of research.
Nice.
I'm just flabbergasted.
They just feel like I don't know. They feel like a solid, pretty complete team.
But I just
excited them for the play of the Phillies.
I just wish other sports that I watch worked like this, where we could have like different teams in the championships, like every few years, instead of watching the same people.
Yeah,
but this is fuck you. But this is the first year since 2016 that we haven't had the Astros or the Dodgers, right, in the World Series.
That sounds like a correct stat.
So I guess there's parity, but not.
I wouldn't say too much parity in MLB. I don't know. I mean, it's just it is a rare case, I guess. I mean, you don't always see that, a team that goes from 60-something wins to whatever they got this year, making the World Series. It's impressive what they did the past year, 2 years.
And then
they built something.
And then a team like the Braves, who has the most wins, just gets bounced the first round they play.
Oh well, people are. I mean, the new format, they get a bye. People are complaining you can't give baseball players a week off of, and then they get rusty coming back. That's the big argument there.
You get rusty, a week off.
I mean, they
playing 100.
I'm not necessarily
80, 60 games. You get rusty.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're in such a routine. They literally play every single day for 6 months, and then you give them a week off, and then you got to get back into it. It's
play against your own team. Swing some bats.
It's tough to explain, I guess, but they're creatures of habit more so than NFL.
Guess so.
Imagine NFL players played every single day. They'd be dead.
Have more Chandler Joneses.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. Not that we care because it's one game out of however many they play, but the Nuggets are up 103-94 on the Lakers.
94. Wow, it's kind of closer than I thought. Is LeBron him?
Who? Yeah, sure, maybe.
Well, I need the Lakers to keep it close so Jamal Murray can get one more bucket, because he is 1.5 points away from his more. College football. Don't care anymore?
Yeah, this is the least you've had written here in college football segment since we started. I'm so sorry. You were so excited. You were so high in college. I mean, I saw it coming.
Well, this is every year. Once we lose to Ohio State, I'm done. I'm done until playoff rankings come out, because those are fun. But James Franklin needs to get out of State College. He can't win the big one. I don't know if he's just a nervous guy when it comes to playing that team or what, but it's egregious. His offensive coordinator sucks.
He should have taken the advice from the reporter and just threw it up and see what would happen.
I mean, Drew Lohr didn't look good.
He didn't, but he also abandoned the run, which is what we're better at and what we've been doing all year. Like we have a two-headed monster at running back. He gave them 9 carries and then stopped doing it.
Didn't he go for like 17 of 41 or something?
I don't know. But he shouldn't have been passing at all. Nick Singleton had 9 rushes for 58 yards. Why did we stop running the ball? And he made a terrible decision to go for it on a 4th down with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and he was only down 13-7. We didn't convert, and Ohio State gets the ball and goes down and scores a touchdown with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Andy, were you watching the game?
Yes.
Did you listen to the broadcast?
I think so. Where was I? Yeah.
Gus Johnson. And
I put him in the intro.
He was in the intro. Out of nowhere, he just calls him Maserati Marv all day long. Like, what? No one calls him this. What are you talking about?
He was interviewed. He was asked about it.
He was? I was like, what is he doing? No one calls him Maserati Marv. He's like, makes a big play. The Maserati. It was entertaining, but I was like, what?
I found out after the game Marvin Harrison had a career high in receptions, which blew my mind because he played with C.J. Stroud. And I didn't think he would get a career high in receptions with Kyle McCord.
I don't know who came up with that one.
I want to ask you, did you hear your new nickname today? The Maserati Mars?
No, I haven't heard. No, I mean, I feel like I get new nicknames like every week now, but no, it's great. I don't know who came up with that one. Gus Johnson, of course, Gus did. No, he's awesome.
Oh, he sounds like such a nice guy. He's very soft-spoken.
He's from Philly.
I'm sick of this.
My friend
with a gain of 13. The Maserati Marvin Harrison with a gain of 13.
I wonder when Gus comes up with that, when he's going to say, he's like, all right, let me pull this out of the bag today. See what I can get going. Like if that, maybe he'd probably just got Marvin Harrison a sponsor.
Maybe. Oh, he's a free Maserati. He didn't need that.
Well, he could get money from Maserati.
He could.
I don't know what brand
Maserati NIL. That's a
foreign. It's foreign. I know it's a car.
Oh.
It's a foreign, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I did not buy a ticket to this game, if you didn't know. I was watching the price go down, like as it was like 50 minutes before kick, and I'm tailgating. I'm just watching ticket prices. It went down to like 126, I believe, in the student section. Probably just an Ohio State student that wanted to sell his ticket real quick. But I didn't do it. I went with my gut because I didn't truly believe we were going to win. And I would have been pissed sitting around. Jamal Murray just hit a 3, hit his projection.
Nice.
Thank you. Him.
Good job.
But I would have. I've been in Ohio Stadium already for a Penn State game, and it's a very hostile environment when you're a Penn State fan at that game. And I just didn't want to do it again without having like full confidence that we were going to win. It felt good. It felt good weeks up into the game, but like an hour before kickoff, I was like, surrounded by all these Ohio State fans, my girlfriend's family. They're just talking shit. Like I'm outnumbered. I'm just out here in my white Penn State hoodie by myself, and I can't say anything. And when they got that defensive touchdown and it was called back because of a hold on Marvin on his route,
yeah,
that's when, who what?
A hold on who?
On Penn State when they got the defensive touchdown, and then they were going up 10-3, but it was a hold on Marvin's route.
Who's Marvin?
Marvin Harrison.
Maserati Marv?
Maserati Marv.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, I didn't know who you were talking about.
I ain't call him that. Yeah, I knew the game was over after that because I was embarrassed because when they scored that defensive touchdown, we were watching on like a tailgate. They had a TV up on the back of a truck and under a tent. And I'm with her family and all that. when we scored the defensive touchdown, I got up in front of the TV and like yelled. I was like, "Ah!"
Oh no! And then it got called back.
And then it got called back, and her dad mimicked me, and it was a terrible experience. And
then you had to drive to Cleveland.
Yeah, and I had to drive to Cleveland after that. And after the game, I was trying to get out of there because her brother's a student there, and he obviously talks his shit as well. I was like, "Can we get out of here before John comes back? Because I don't want to do his shit." And we didn't get out of there in time. And he comes back with like his college buddies, and
it's a shame.
Their dad just starts playing music, and they all singing it to me, and I'm just standing there.
Can you compare the letdown of this game to anything that I could grasp?
Probably not, because it happens every year. So I'm just
how about Jags losing to the Chiefs? That happens every year.
That's just happened recently.
Yeah, I know.
Once it happens for 10 years, yes.
It's like if you're a Broncos fan losing to the Chiefs.
Yeah, true. Yeah. That's happened 13 straight games.
Yes. So if
14.
Not even that, because the Broncos, they're not like Penn State's good every year.
That's a good point.
Like they're 10-2 every year. The only teams they lose to are fucking Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah.
Just get past them and you're in the playoffs. And you never can. So I've conceded. I'm done. And I will never hype up this matchup ever again.
Damn. Unless Drew Lohr takes a big step next year. Or maybe they get rid of James. They were not getting rid of James Franklin.
No, he's on like a 40-year contract.
Oh my God.
He's
because
there for a minute.
Just because he can win every game but Ohio State, that shouldn't get you automatic bid to be the head coach.
I mean, there's some hope for next year with
there's
not for this game, but 12-team playoff.
Whoa.
Because like now your season's done. Who cares? But now
it's not done.
Next year.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't be done. So like that's
cool.
Big fix in college football.
You can lose to him twice.
Yeah.
I would shoot myself. We only dropped to 10. We dropped from 7 to 10.
You're in top 12.
We would we'd make it back to the playoffs and beat Notre Dame or something. I'm just throwing shots now because I'm salty.
Yeah. But
I saw this tweet. Every Big Ten team's last 10 games against Ohio State, the best record is 3-7. Purdue. There are 5 teams who are 0-10 against Ohio State in the conference in their last 10 games.
What's Michigan's record?
2-8.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, the 2 came like the last.
Yeah.
2 seasons.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh no, last year. And the year before.
I think.
I don't know. They're playing together now.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think the last 2 times Michigan beat them.
But yeah, the Big Ten is ass. And I don't know if Washington and Oregon coming into the conference is going to help, because Oregon's going to be losing players. Washington's going to lose Penix. So we'll see. But throwing in the towel, everybody, I am now a Jags fan, a Spurs fan, and that's it.
Speaking of Jags, are we ready to go to Pittsburgh Friday?
No.
You're not.
Guys, my body is in shambles right now. Like, I am bloated as shit. I have acne all over my face. I ate like shit for like 7 straight days. Didn't work out any one of those days. Barely got sleep. I was on like 20 planes. I need to get in the gym tomorrow. And
let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planes maybe, which is a shit ton.
Well, there's 4 in one day, and then New Orleans, 2 New Orleans, 2 leaving 4, so another 4. So we're at 8 now, and then coming home today,
9, 10,
another 2.
Fuck.
Yeah. I'm still in the same clothes I wore on the plane this morning.
That would get me so sick. I got sick, but that would get me so sick. I don't know what the difference is, but the reason why I asked you if you're ready to go to Pittsburgh is because we haven't previewed a game.
No, this rules.
Since when? Buffalo? It was Buffalo. Yeah.
We did a game preview?
Yeah. Did we?
I don't think so.
Anyway. Yes. And I remember Andy made that entry, and like
Have to pause that because this is going on YouTube.
Copyright.
What's up, Jags fans? Sorry. So sorry that we have not put out a video since our epic Jags. What was it called? From the Ashes video.
From the Ashes, yes.
We've been traveling. Went to New Orleans for the Saints game.
Which we need to put a W by.
Oops. Yes, we do. Should I just go ahead, since I'm back here, should I just go do New Orleans and Pittsburgh?
Yeah,
do it. Jinx it.
It's not a jinx. That's a dub.
Okay.
It's a left-handed dub for
that
New
looks
Orleans.
good, man. 5-2 is never
this looks a little ugly. I don't like this, but
big old
look at all those W's.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Good Lord. Like I kind of don't remember what losing's like. It's kind of weird. Like I said earlier, did I say this earlier?
Yeah, I do love this. What is an L? What is an L? Week 3, don't remember her.
The Jags went last year 0-5 in October. If they beat the Steelers, it will be 5-0 this year.
Wow.
And they made the playoffs last year. So.
They had 5 October games?
Yeah.
Check me on that.
Yep.
1, 2,
You're
3,
right.
4, 5. Yes.
So back-to-back years of 5 October games. That's got to be rare.
And then they swap the second half of the season and go 3-7. Just kidding.
Hopefully not. So we will all be there. We're leaving. I think we're all leaving Friday.
Thursday for me.
Thursday, Friday.
Friday, I get in at noon.
All right.
They're in the same flight.
Yeah, we're on the same flight.
Oh.
Should be fun. We're trying to find some activities. I know we're going to tour PNC Park. Thanks, Jack. And going to tour Tequila Cowboy after that.
All day.
Halloween costume party, a Halloween party there Saturday night. And probably going to be bar gating for the game there, unless we find another spot that looks better.
Damn, what are we doing Friday?
Don't know. We'll find something, I guess.
So.
Jack will show us around. Maybe do some hiking.
Permanente Bros.
I'll figure it out.
So let's talk about the game. I will say we're going to give our game predictions and our score predictions. But when it comes to we're coming with 4 straight wins. So impressive how many stadiums we've played at, et cetera, et cetera. Offense finally looks like it's coming together at spurts, a lot better than it did in the beginning of the year. I will say the only thing I'm scared of and the only way that I can see us actually losing this game is really TJ Watt. I can't see any other way that, unless the team just doesn't show up, which isn't really common. It's happened once this season versus the Texans. It's not really common under the Doug Peterson era. I think that the only way really is that TJ Watt just wrecks the game. And our offensive line played really well last week, hoping that carries to this week. I pass the floor is y'all's.
Yes. So with all the analysis that we've gotten from Jack here this season, bona fide Steelers fan, about their offense and from the games I've actually watched myself with TJ Watt, like Andy mentioned, I agree with Andy that the only way we're losing this game is if we keep it close enough for TJ Watt to actually make a play that wins them the game, because that's what he's been doing all season. He's been winning them games that are close. Like the 2 losses that the Steelers have, they've been like 30-6 and 30-7. So we need to go out there and dominate them and win like that. Because if it's like 16-13, like some field goal game like you play against your division opponents, I'm going to be sweating the whole game. Because I know one TJ sack could be a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Well, I tweeted this, and I am pretty much conceding I'm spotting the Steelers 7 points because I feel like it's inevitable that TJ Watt has a strip sack in this game. I just see it so clearly, and I just see a strip sack, fumble recovery, places going crazy. I have my hands in my head in my hands. I think we end up winning, but I feel like that is going to happen when we're deep in our own side of the field, giving the Steelers an easy path to a touchdown.
But the Jags have been through hell in this schedule and they've won 4 straight through it.
That is true.
So Doug Peterson knows the bye week's coming up after this game. He's going to make sure his guys aren't thinking about that bye week right now, because you get to rest after this. So this turned into a very big game now. These motherfuckers are 4-2 AFC. We 5-2 AFC. We need to beat them, and Doug Peterson gonna have them ready.
Oh, yeah. If Steelers win, I haven't even thought about the Steelers winning. The Steelers are 5-2, and the Jags are 5-3. The Steelers are better. Yikes! You guys got to win.
Yeah, I don't need that.
You guys got to win this bad. You got to win it bad.
But I don't see Kenny Pickett leading a game-winning drive.
I don't see him running against us.
It's like our secondary has been playing so amazing. I don't see Kenny Pickett really like dialing us up like that. We talked earlier on our podcast about Steelers' run game, how it's not really like they scored their first rush touchdown this season, or did Najee, or was it
the whole offense had their first rushing touchdown of the season last week?
Okay,
we had 3 though.
They had 3 last game, but Jags have great run D.
Yeah, they are fourth. They're 4th in the league in rush yards allowed.
Like you're gonna have to throw screens to Jalen Warren, like the Saints did with Kamara. Like he ate us up in the screen game, but Jags are on a roll, and unlike the 49ers, I just don't see it coming to an abrupt halt a day or a week before we got to go on a bye and finally get to rest. So I think we're going to go out there and win.
Try to determine when to let Jack talk. Do you have something to say, or should we?
You can keep going if you'd like.
Okay. Trevor Lawrence is playing mad, which is another thing in our favor. He tweeted after comments from Thursday Night Crew, Richard Sherman.
Twin.
He's turned into a big hack. I mean, actually, I don't watch Richard Sherman, so I can't say that. I did hear these comments about Trevor Lawrence, though, which is similar to what he said about Trevor Lawrence. He said he hasn't watched Jaguars games. He probably just looks at the stats, like I said earlier in the podcast, about Trevor Lawrence's stats, and that he made his opinion from there. So Trevor tweeted Thursday night or Friday morning, y'all keep your opinions and we'll keep finding ways to win. #analysis.
Analysts.
Oh. That's very close. Similar. Analysts. So Trevor Lawrence is playing mad. That's great. We are 4-0 since he tweeted out 2 emojis of the note-taking.
Yeah.
So he tweeted, Patrick Mahomes did that one season. They won the Super Bowl. He just tweeted out the note. He just tweeted out the note emoji.
Yeah.
And they won the Super Bowl that year. He pinned it or something. Trevor Lawrence tweeted out 2 note emojis.
Damn.
4 weeks ago after our loss to the Texans. And we went on a 4-game winning streak. So,
do you think he did that because he saw Mahomes do it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know. NFL's weird.
Maybe. Is Trevor Lawrence a plant?
Question for you, Jack, Steelers fan. Does Mike Tomlin compliment every team that they play when it's not deserved? Because he was really gassing up Trayvon Walker specifically in the clip that I saw. Does he? Because I remember every time he played Belichick, we played him with Blaine Gabbert and a shitty roster, and he acted like we were the best thing in the league. Yeah. So, and then they went out and blew us out. So does Tomlin do this, or is Trayvon Walker doing some things that I'm just not seeing? Because he said about Trayvon, called Trayvon a wrecking ball, and that sometimes stats don't show how much havoc one is causing.
I agree with what you think. I mean, he does talk highly of a lot of he spends a lot of time during his Tuesday presser when he goes into like our opponent that's the upcoming week Sunday, just going on a rant of the team, and like I always wonder like how he does it. Like he's not like me. He can't watch all the games on Sunday, so like I guess he watched, I don't know, someone preps him with notes. He watches a Grams film on Monday, but
do you remember things that he said outside of the Trayvon Walker one?
I mean, yeah, you said
you talked about our linebacker duo.
Yeah, he loved the linebacker duo.
Good, he should.
And Jenkins and Cisco.
Foye Lucan, if he doesn't make the Pro Bowl, like there's a bias. I know there's a bias against Jacksonville, but it's just very frustrating. Leading the league in tackles 2 years in a row, and he's on a tear this year. Sorry, Devin Lloyd's playing great too. Anything else? And
stuck out to me what he said. Just Trevor and ETN, how he's like they've been doing it together in that backfield since they were 18 probably, and like he just went on
Tomlin knows ball.
A tirade about them. I mean, you said Belichick did it. The good vet coaches do it. I mean, they don't want to give bulletin board material, and bulletin board material. I mean, no coach is going to say, "Oh, Trevor Walker sucks."
But not every coach goes out of the way.
Yeah, right. They go out of the way to like compliment all phases and as many players.
He's like thinking it out at the press conference.
Yes, like, just to like not leave out a player to possibly give them bulletin. So, I appreciate that. I guess. It's just fun. I love listening and watching him talk.
I watched the link you said. He sounds like a president talking at the podium
every week. Yeah,
he's just no questions, just him going off real quick and then saying, "All right, we can take some questions now." It's like just owns the room.
I should give that a look. True or false game for you guys?
Oh, it's fun.
TJ Watt will force a turnover.
Shit.
True.
I
mean, at this point, I'd probably bet on it.
Yeah, I think he forces a fumble. Sadly,
right. If
the towels start waving and I get pissed.
Hey, I'm bringing my teal towel from the playoffs. I think we both should.
I don't have one.
We have two of similar varieties somewhere around here, so we can wave ours while they wave theirs.
Nice.
And Jack can reteach us how to wave it. So, of the same vein, something that seems to be happening every week. Travis Etienne, if his more or less on Prize Picks, I know they only do 0.5 for touchdowns, but say it was 1.5, what would you take? He scored 2 touchdowns in 3 straight games.
I would take the less. Not even because it's like the Steelers, it's just
odds.
Yeah, regression to the mean. He's not going to score 2 every game.
Wow. Holy shit, Jack.
Miss Tweety.
Miss Tweety.
What's that?
It's a Spruce Creek
statistics teacher.
What? Oh, geez, you're right.
Regression to the mean, Jack. That's crazy. All right, so it's 0.5. What do you take? Actually, I'm looking on Prize Picks
0.5
right now.
I take.
Sure. It is 0.5.
And that's rushing or receiving. That's crazy.
Well, every time I take ETN, he doesn't get it. So
take it.
I'm fading it.
Oh, I like that. Look at you for gambling words. No, well,
entrying.
Why is he
entrying?
He knows we're doing a YouTube video.
He always
Walter, it's not time yet.
Always has
Lay
to
down.
make his appearance.
Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Lay down. Okay. Next one. True or false? We will hear the chant "Fire Canada" Sunday.
Yes.
True.
Whoa.
They do it every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's coming off a good game. 24 points.
But it's the first drive when we go 3 and out on like a run pass, and it's going to happen.
Okay. Should we chant with them like we did at Saints?
Let's wait. Let's wait. Next, one of us will get into an altercation with a Steelers fan.
I think Jack might swing
on a Steelers.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Civil War this season. I haven't fought lately. I won't get in an altercation. It'll be a Steelers fan that can't handle my obnoxiousness.
Uh-oh. So just don't be obnoxious.
I can't. Like I do it, but I don't direct it to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking to my fellow Jags fans here, and maybe the away team fans hear me, and maybe it ruffles their feathers. But Saints fans were fine. So Steelers fans, don't be soft. If I do it, we will not get into an altercation at the game. Maybe at the bar.
Game score prediction time.
True or false?
I have Jags winning 24-13. I had 31-13, but I was like,
points for the Steelers.
34-13.
Boswell still your kicker?
Yeah, hasn't missed yet this year. He's been really good.
He's him.
Until we, no, that's a podcast reference.
Mine is 27-10 Jags. 1 touchdown for the Steelers.
What's it going to be?
Pickens.
TJ Watt.
Oh, my God.
It won't be on Darius Williams, though, because he's not allowed a touchdown pass.
Oh, yeah, you guys do have Deontay Johnson back now. So
yeah, and that helped a lot last week.
Opens you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not much.
Jack, score prediction. I'm
going to go 27-20 Jags.
Okay. What's this spread? Jags minus 2.5.
2.5.
I think it's 2.5. Yeah,
Jags 2.5.
I mean, they should win.
So nothing would make you sad because I don't want to be with. That would make me feel bad because this is the first time our teams are like playing. I don't want you to be sad. I mean, I don't want to be sad either, but I don't want.
I don't think Jag would be sad. I think he'd be happy for us before he's sad.
Really?
I don't know. Like,
Come on.
Like, I don't want your day to be ruined. Will it?
I mean, yeah, it will be ruined.
Oh, fuck, because mine would be ruined too.
Yeah, like it doesn't. But it has nothing to do with like I don't know. Regardless of whether we're there or not, like if the Steelers lose, like my day sucks.
Damn.
So like I don't know. One of our days is gonna be ruined.
It is. I'm wondering how I'll feel if we lose. Because 5-3,
still good.
Still good.
Go on the bye, fix some things.
But yeah, but then you got the Niners around the corner, which isn't. But knowing the Jags, they'd lose to the Steelers and then beat the Niners.
Maybe it depends how we lose.
Yeah, probably would.
Like if it's TJ Watt, it's like, well, I expected that. If it's Kenny throwing 3 touchdowns, I'm like, oh, didn't expect that. Fix everything.
Yeah.
If the Steelers win, it won't happen. If the Steelers win,
stop it. It could
stop doing that.
It will happen. Actually,
it won't.
I'm gonna put a loss here.
Do it
now.
If the Steelers win, like, what's the media gonna say about them? Like, they're already on kind of like a unknown. Like, how are they doing this run? And if we beat
and what if
Jags,
it's a weird
who are
win
top
too?
of the AFC kind of, and like it's 5-2.
What
is the media gonna?
Canada. It's a weird season.
Like we're
Mike Tomlin never losing record.
Yeah,
I mean, this has to end eventually, right?
The losing record thing?
The Steelers winning. They can't keep getting away with this.
Oh, this year? Yeah. I mean, our upcoming schedule got the Jags, and then we host the Titans and host the Packers. So I'd like to come out of that 3 stretch going 2-1. However,
3-0.
Those we're not going to beat the Jags. Whoever those wins stack up against each other,
you're going to beat us.
I mean, if we beat the Jags, then yes, we're way ahead of my hopes. But it doesn't. I don't know. We don't. I read the stat. Well, I guess I didn't during the video, but I read the stats of our offense and defense: 28th and 30th in yards allowed, pass and rush. Like it's not. We shouldn't win. I'm not just trying to be. I'm not trying to be anti-jinx. Like statistically, we shouldn't win, but crazy stuff happens. I guess we have good special teams. TJ just makes these amazing, timely splash plays. Not just him, like kind of our whole defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stop. You're scaring me.
Yes.
Okay.
Start fast and beat them by 30. That's the only way. Because their only 2 losses are like blowouts.
Yeah.
You guys don't lose close games.
True. Because Kenny's going to win a game-winning drive.
Or TJ Watt will seal it with a sack fumble. Let's look at prize picks and make a group entry.
Oh, God.
A Grenchery.
I
don't like going with y'all.
This might be.
No, you lead us then.
I'll just give out some, because I stink at this.
Ooh.
I'll just give out some suggestions. Calvin Ridley, it's been it's been like a storyline that he was not targeted in New Orleans. I can see us kind of forcing the ball to him this game. His more or less is 52.5. I'd take the more.
Ooh.
Why wouldn't you just take Christian Kirk safely?
Keep in mind, it's going to be bad weather probably.
Bad? I've been hearing good.
I think
bad how?
I think
like
it's going to rain and be pretty windy.
What the frick?
Every time I go to Pennsylvania.
Wait, isn't our standing room underneath a...
What?
Isn't our standing room tickets like underneath?
We're covered, yeah.
Wow, W's.
So this is one thing I don't do before prize picks usually. Is
Trevor doesn't do well in the rain, doesn't he?
No.
He doesn't have a rainy redemption game yet.
Well, he played well versus the Jets in Thursday Night Football.
Oh, my God.
What?
I don't count that.
Why?
The Jets were awful.
They had a great defense still.
Last season?
Yeah, when we played them in December.
That could be a recipe for Steelers win, but we won't win.
Yeah, 60% chance of rain.
60 now. It was 30.
Don't like that.
You guys got the wrong sources.
Oh, yeah. Jack does know the weather.
I do.
That sucks.
I would be surprised if it's not rain, if it's not wet.
But I still like Calvin Ridley more. Anyway.
TJ fumble definitely happening now.
Yeah, they don't have the sacks up yet, and if it was like 0.75.
Oh, yeah.
I'd take more.
Travis Etienne, his pass rush receiving is 0.5, like I said. I would take more there. He's on a tear.
Can I guess the passing yards?
For Trevor? Sure.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trevor, 241.5.
239.5.
Wow.
Is Kenny 220? 226.5.
220.5.
Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah, last week,
Trevor more than
Kenny. He could have had like 40 more yards, but we had stupid penalties.
Kenny has hit that more.
Stop.
Four out of the last 5 games.
And the one he didn't was Houston, and he got hurt. He didn't play the whole game.
Dang.
So if you want to play along on Prize Picks with us, make an entry for this game. Download Prize Picks. We have a promo code Dunn and Drew.
It's in the description.
Yeah, 100% of your deposit will be matched. All right, enjoy the game. I can't wait. And
well, now I have to bring the rain jacket.
Go Jags. Yeah, God dang it.
That sucks.
Sorry.
How's it going to end my weekend with rain? Great.
At least it's rain and a W.
Yes.
Yep, it will be.
27-20. Jags.
I'm done.
All right.
Take us home.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining at the end, Walter. As y'all know, Prize Picks, we all up on that app. Use code Dunn and Drew. Instant deposit match up to $100. Also, patreon.com to join in our intros. We are headed to Pittsburgh on Friday. Oh.
I'm so sorry. We did a thing on Patreon asking you guys to submit voicemails. We're trying to bring them back. But we understand that I posted it like 2 hours before we recorded, so we got one entry. And maybe once, and it was for a hat. It was to win this Only Jags hat. So we have one entry, so we have one winner. It's Angelo Donadio. So
congratulations, Angelo.
Let's listen to Angelo Donadio's voicemail.
What's up? It is Angelo Donadio from Charlotte, North Carolina. And very disappointing non-victory Tuesday here.
Call that losses.
This week's loss was very disheartening and infuriating. I went to the Dolphins bar here and watched the game. And I don't think I've ever been so frustrated at a game, because how in the fuck do we get, 9? 9 fucking penalties to the Eagles 0.
It was 11-0.
When I saw holding and fucking pass interference and fucking anything, I don't give a fuck. The whole entire game, and they don't get a single fucking call. Granted, we didn't play our best, but we were in the game the entire time. It was close. It was competitive. But those fucking fouls, some of them bullshit, not all of them, ruined our fucking game. Whoa. I'm pissed off. Jesus.
Oh,
nice cutoff.
Yeah, one of them was the blatant.
Oh, the face
mask, pass interference. Not only face mask, pass interference, all in one.
Yeah.
Refs love that shit.
That's crazy.
Like, refs are so inconsistent, so aggravating. He continues here.
Oh yeah. Also, I love you and can't wait to see you guys soon. Hopefully, Veterans Day weekend. I still need to check if I'm off that day or weekend. All right, love you. Bye.
All right.
Congrats, Angelo. You win a hat.
Once again, we are out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, we headed to Pittsburgh on Friday. Hey, if you're going to Pitt with us, Tequila Cowboy, Saturday night costume party. I got to find one. We will be out there. We're working on it. Working on the rest of our itinerary as well. But till next time, this has been Dunn, Drew, and a hint of Jack. Jags, Steelers, let's get it. Dude, just kidding.
Oh, my heart just dropped.
Jesus. Dropped.